Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Serenial Podcast. This is episode 19, I think. We're almost at the big 2-0. The Serenial Podcast numbers is almost old enough to drink in the States, if that's how that works. Anyways, I'm Mega Harv, and as always, joining me is Enigma. How you doing today?
How's it going, man?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Hanging in.
Did I break it? You look confused.
Yeah, like I hear. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. It's good.
All right.
Good.
So yeah, we're episode 19 of the Serenial Podcast. I took down a couple of talking points here, so I'm just gonna kind of ramble through those, I guess, here in a minute. But like Michael Lucario, thanks for joining in. So I suppose before we get into that, Enigma, what have you been up to the past week? Anything worth? Anything podcast
Not
worthy?
a lot. Not a lot. I've been playing Samurai Warriors 5 still. That game,
right.
I'm like almost 70 hours in now, and I'm still trying
holy
to do like every freaking mission. Like, I feel like I love the series, but I'm like the people that have like even more dedication to it than me. I looked at the Platinum Trophy requirements, and I was like considering it, and then I was like, it's taking me almost 70 hours just to beat the story. I said it's going to take me over 100 to get the Platinum. The Platinum Trophies are freaking crazy, and I'm going to continue on that in a moment. But,
Right.
Besides that, I've been streaming Scarlet Nexus still,
Oh, right.
I finished the first story, Yuito. Now I got to finish Kasane's. It's a great game. Like, I've mentioned it before, but it's definitely one of the best JRPGs to release this year, I'd say.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Good stuff.
What about you?
What have I been up to? I mostly just kind of had a rest week. What was it, Sunday? I think it was Sunday. I just wasn't feeling, I wasn't, sick per se, but, I was so tired. So, I didn't stream Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. I just rested. Then, I started to come around, today I'm kind of tired, but I can hang it in there. But no, I did, what did I do? Wednesday, I did a cleanup stream of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, because I had, a little bit of content in that I didn't tackle. There's more content I could do, but I realistically need a team to accomplish it, because there's, raid bosses, and you can play them solo, but the AI that they give you is so stupid that it's unless you're super good at the game, which I'm not, you pretty much need, actual humans. Because there was, one raid I did where I actually got in a room with some people, and it was so intense. It was down to just, one guy, and he had, one of Cell's moves, which, absorbs strength out of, the opponent. So he, kept dodging, I think it was Janemba, and just kept absorbing health out of him. Then eventually gets the whole team revived. And then, right when the battle ends, some of us get mind-controlled, myself included, and if everyone gets mind-controlled, it's over. And, while I was trying to get out of the mind control, they won. So, everybody won. I was sure we were gonna lose. And it was, super intense. But,
man.
But, getting a team together, it was just randoms. Some of these raids, you cannot find people in at all.
Yep.
So, but I can see how people can get hooked on, MMORPGs. For, moments like that, where you have, a really clutch team win.
Hell yeah. Those are some of the best times when you're gaming online.
Oh, yeah.
And it's you're right at the edge, am I going to win? Am I going to lose?
Oh, yeah.
And then you make it through, and you're
Yeah.
I'm glad I got a good team for once.
Yeah, and then, I screw up, and I'm, watching this other guy just doing, this magical stuff as far as I'm concerned. I was on the edge of my seat watching it. So, yeah, it was, the game's fun. It's just, if I were to play it consistently, I would definitely need, a crew. Now that I've done, the end game stuff.
That not having a team is something that, that's for, the average person, I guess, you wouldn't think it's too much of a tough barrier of entry.
Right.
But for people that don't socialize too much, and, and will include myself, it's, it keeps me, honestly, from playing, a few games that come out.
I get that.
when I think about like, oh, well, it wouldn't be fun to play by myself. Who do I have to play with? And then I look at it and I'm just like, not really anybody. So I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Right.
And then I just stick to my single player games and whatnot. But there are a few games where I'm just like, if I had a team,
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot.
Like Xenoverse 2 is very playable by yourself, but once you hit a certain point, some of the missions you need a team. Unless you're like professional Xenoverse player. Which
I haven't played a Dragon Ball Z game in years, so I'm not a fighting games person, so I probably would not be any
right.
That wouldn't be my forte.
I mean it's I wouldn't it's kind of a fighting game, I guess, but like I don't look at it as in the same vein as I would look at, say, like a Mortal Kombat. There definitely is a fighting game mode where it's just you and another person fighting, if you want. But like it's mostly against like AI and stuff. But if I were to recommend a new Dragon Ball game, I would say give Kakarot a spin.
Yeah, if there was one I was gonna pick up, it probably would be Kakarot. I know someone I was talking to, they said it was like pretty great. I think they got like the DLC for it and everything like that.
I just finished
maybe I'll check it out next time it goes on sale or something.
Yeah, I just finished the last of the DLC like last week. Like it was good. Like there's plenty to do in it. Yeah, and like last week I had Michael Lucario just mentioned that Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. Like I was gonna play that this week, but I just was tired instead. I just heard it was a really good like Game Boy Advance game, and like I saw some gameplay of it, and it does look good. And no, I've never played any of the Shinobi games, Michael. Not a one. But yeah, I got Kakarot.
Wait, Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure?
Yeah, it was a Game Boy Advance game, and it's you're like Kid Goku in it. But like it's like a side scroller. I only just heard about it recently, but it looks pretty good.
I never played it. I played the Dragon. I only played what's it called?
Legacy of Goku.
Yes, Legacy of Goku 1 and 2, and then Boost Fury. All three of those Game Boy Advance games. I didn't really know it's like the fourth one. I mean, they're not part of the same series, but yeah, they had 4 Dragon Ball Z games, I think, for the Game Boy Advance.
How do you like
the least?
How do you like the Legacy of Goku games?
Oh man, those are some of my favorite Game Boy Advance games. I had on my list of top 10 Game Boy Advance games, like for a video I put out like a few months back. Legacy of Goku. Which one was it I put on that list? I think I put Boost Fury on my list of top 10 Game Boy Advance games, but I mean, any of those 3 could damn near reach that because I loved playing them all as a kid.
Cool.
It was a breakup from the like Budokai and whatnot, where it was just a one-on-one fighter.
It was more like an adventure type of thing.
Exactly. You got to explore more and whatnot. I like that part.
Whenever I got to scratch that Dragon Ball itch again, I'm probably going to go Advanced Adventure, then see how many of the Legacy of Goku games I can work through.
Hell yeah. I recommend playing all 3 of them, honestly. The Shinobi games. I did play one of those. You haven't played any?
Never.
I played one of them. I don't remember which one. I'm trying to find out what. There was like a few of them, I think, for the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 1, somewhere around there. I played at least one of them. I know that much.
I always get... Sorry, go ahead.
No, continue. I'm just looking at the list.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, like, for whatever reason, I get Shinobi and Strider mixed up, but I haven't played any of them.
They are. I feel like they are very similar. But no,
Strider,
I think I played the Shinobi game.
Exclusive? Like, I thought one of them was, like, Sega exclusive. Or am I just wrong about that? Okay.
Shinobi has some on Sega. It's a Sega series.
Okay.
At least. Like, developed and published by Sega. But no, they were on PlayStation and everything like that. I think I played... I don't even know when I played. They're all very similar, to be honest. I think I played the one for, like, PlayStation 1 or something.
Okay.
Maybe Game Boy Advance. It was like a 2D kind of side-scroller kind of one. But it was alright.
Okay.
I might have played the one for PS2 also. I've played so many dang freaking games. I was getting it mixed up with It's funny. I wasn't getting it mixed up with Strider. I was getting it mixed up with Ninja Gaiden, like, or Tenchu. Tenchu. You ever played Tenchu?
Yeah. I know, but I know what you mean. There's 1 and 2, wasn't there, on PlayStation 1? Or is there?
Let me see.
I think there's more than one.
There was a few of them. I don't know which one is which. I think I played the one on the PS2. But yeah, all these ninja games, they kind of like blend in. I mean, there is Strider, there is Shinobi, there is Tenchu, there is freaking Ninja Gaiden.
And like,
I'm like, they all blend together at this point.
And like Ninja Gaiden for NES, when I did my stream of that, oh my god, I was so mad. That game is so cheap. I don't know how.
Which one?
Ninja Gaiden 1.
The first one. Oh, I only played Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which was like a remake or something like that.
It was like on PS2, Xbox, or Xbox.
I had it on the PS3.
Okay.
I gave up and like I wound up selling that game. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm good. This is far too challenging.
I believe it.
You know,
I didn't play 2 or 3 of the NES ones. I don't know if they're as frustrating or not. But after the first one, I'm like, I'm okay. The first one has some dumb stuff in it where, like, I think it's a bug. But when you get to the last level, I forget what the last level is. Let's just say it's level 6. Like, there'd be, like, level 6-1, you beat level 6-1, you go into 6-2. If you game over, you start again on level 6-2. But let's say you get to level 6-3 and make it to the boss. If you lose to the boss, you have to go back to 6-1. And do that all over again. Which
that's some kind of glitch.
I guess it was a bug. It should be. If it wasn't a bug, it should have been a bug. Like, it wasn't as big of a deal, like, playing it on the Switch Online store, because, like, I could just save state.
Yeah.
But anytime I'm playing an NES game for the first time, I really prefer not to use save states. Just for, like, for the challenge of it or whatever, but I could not do a Ninja Gaiden. It was too frustrating. It'd be one thing if I played it for 20 years, but I haven't. It's not that bad till you get to, like, level 5 or so. Like, there's a certain point where it just gets super difficult. 6-4 and 6-3. Michael De Lucario is saying. Shinobi's not as brutal.
I never played them.
I mean, from my experience, I couldn't recommend the first one.
Ever played.
The other ones might be better. It's not that the game was bad. It was just, like, the difficulty spike was ridiculous at a certain point. And the way that it, like, because there's unlimited continues, but just the way it handled the continues was maddening.
Just playing Sigma Gaiden or whatever, or Gaiden Sigma, whatever the hell they call it. I was just like, no, I got to like this third maybe level, and then I was just like, wash my hands of it. I was like, I'm good. I had my friend try to play it. He was just like, oh, this is hard. I was like, yeah.
Okay, so they're brutal too.
Gonna have to pass on this. No, definitely. I think the whole series is. I think that's kind of like
the thing.
What its goal is. You know, it's like Dark Souls. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think. Did Dark Souls come out
pretty much
before these Ninja Gaiden games, like the Sigma and stuff? Do you know? I'm wondering what.
Nah,
like
the first Dark Souls. Let me see. First Dark Souls, I think, was 2009, around there, right? Or technically, Demon Souls.
I was gonna say, like, Demon Souls is like kind of. It didn't really explode. Like, Demon Souls definitely had like a cult following, but Dark Souls is what like launched it into the stratosphere. Alexis,
Demon Souls came out in 2009.
Okay.
Demon Souls came out in 2009, and then they made Dark Souls, I think, in 2011. And 2011. And then they continue with 2, 3, and then the remake of Demon Souls 2020. But and then of course they have like Neo, which is kind of similar in Sekiro, and the whole like difficult, similar gameplay, combat, whatnot, frustrating, freaking make you want to rip your hair out. I stay clear from all those games in that like subgenre right there. You know, they call them like Souls like
Soulsborne or whatever. Souls like, yes.
Yeah, Bloodborne too.
Yeah.
I stay clear from that stuff.
Like,
I'm not playing video games to freaking get that pissed off and I want to punch somebody. Like, I'm okay.
I totally get that. The only reation I brought that up was, like, it seemed like what drew a lot of people to, like, Dark Souls is, like, the difficulty. But, like, if those Ninja Gaiden games came out first and were, like, that hard, it just makes me wonder why, like, those didn't get, like, super popular. It just might not have been, like, right place, right time, or whatever.
No, for sure. Sometimes it depends, you know what I mean? Like, some things just catch on, some don't. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden, I feel like never really got that big. Maybe it was the timing. Maybe it was, the marketing. Like, sometimes you don't know what to attribute it to.
Right.
But they were similar in the fact that they were both, quite difficult in their respective genres and whatnot.
I forget if you told me, but did when you played whatever Soulsborne game it was, were you playing it with anybody?
No, I played Bloodborne. That's the only one I have.
Okay.
But I didn't play it with anybody. I was playing it solo.
Okay.
But I gave up after. I was like, I have too many other games to play. I was like, I'm not gonna waste. Like, I feel like it would have taken a lot of time.
Yes.
To
yes.
And with practice and whatnot to really get better at it to the point where I can get through it.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not trying to really do that at the moment. You know what I mean?
I get it. And, like, so if you weren't feeling Bloodborne, I'd have a hard time recommending the other ones. Because Bloodborne was the first one I played, and I thought it was good training for the rest of them. Because from what I gather, if you start playing with Dark Souls, it's like, oh, only use shields the entire time. But Bloodborne is like, no, you don't get shields, you dodge. But you can still dodge in the other ones. So, like, just doing all the dodge rolling and stuff, I think, was a good base to get started.
No, I heard it's all about dodging, basically. So I'm just like, I hate games where you have to just dodge everything or you freaking die in, like, 2 hits. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, you're punishing me for, like, my reflexes not being as good as yours. Right. It's just... Well, it's like, but I'm so used to playing like turn-based RPGs and stuff like that,
Yeah, I get that.
It's like
that. I've only more recently been playing action RPGs, like, since I started streaming. But, like, I went on... It's mostly when I went on, like, my whole Kingdom Hearts bender before, like, 3 came out. That got me kind of... Got me kind of reacclimated to the whole genre, and now I'll play them, like, more regularly than I would in the wild, per se.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Same thing, when it came to me, like, when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I had it pre-ordered. I didn't rush to play it, rather. Mm-hmm. I wanted to play some of the other games, because I hadn't played Dream Drop Distance or Birth by Sleep, and I wanted to play those two, because I heard they were very important to the story. Yeah. So I wound up playing through Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Birth by Sleep, and Dream Drop Distance, all, like, over the course of, like, a month. And then I hopped right into part 3. So it was all, like, fresh in my mind, So I definitely had a stint where I was playing a whole bunch of action RPGs. You know what I mean? Hell, they have series like YS and whatnot, which is still one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, that's what, the 8th one? That's, like, action RPG. I guess they're all kind of
the YS series, all of them are basically... all of them are basically the same, or very similar gameplay-wise, at least. 9 is the newest one. I'm hoping they're going to make a part 10.
I'm sure they will, at this point.
It probably won't be out for a while, though, because 9 just released last year, I think, and we got it in the West, I think, this year, something along those lines. But definitely, as far as action RPGs go, the YS series.
I think you handled, like, the way you approached Kingdom Hearts better than I did, because I, like, all the ones that came out, that was on, like, the 1.5, 2.5 collection, and then, like, the 2.8 collection, like, I played all of them. So by the time I got through 3, I was so sick of Kingdom Hearts. And now there's still, like, the
only two...
The only
two I never finished was Chain of Memories and, 3, 5, 8 over 2 days or whatever.
Right. Well, I
never finished those.
In all fairness, I didn't play that one either, but, like, the the collection I had, it's like, here's the movie for the game. Same with, what game was it? Recoded.
Yeah.
Which I didn't find really taught me anything about the story. I could have just skipped that one, I think.
Recoded?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that one wasn't too important to the story. Like, Birth by Sleep was, because they introduced Aqua Ventus and,
yes, that was like
what's
big
that dude's
time.
name? Terra.
Yes, that was
Terra.
like big time important.
And that villain dude. And Birth by Sleep, not Birth by Sleep, 3D, Dream Drop Distance was also pretty important as well. You know, because it takes place right before part 3.
I did, what was it, point 2? What the hell was it called? Point 2, a fragmentary path?
Oh, yeah.
The one where you're
Aqua.
Aqua.
That was, yeah, that one was like real short, but it basically told you where Aqua was.
Yeah.
That was a whole confusing mess. It showed where Aqua was during her whole like stint of after Birth by Sleep, and it was confusing, but it wasn't bad though. It also showed you how Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay was going to be, like with the updated graphics and mechanics and whatnot. You know, since they went from PS2 basically to freaking PS4.
Yeah,
but you know.
And then when I played it, I ended up doing like the super boss fight in Fragmentary Passage, and like I was so frustrated with it when I was playing it, and eventually I did it. But then like after the fact, like watching other people play it, I'm like, I can recognize this was like a well-designed boss fight, but I hated it just the same. Like because like there's just not a lot of windows of opportunity to like do damage, or at least I couldn't find a ton of them. But like after the mysterious figure super boss fight is more a bunch of crap. Because you need like one particular skill, or else you're not even gonna hit him, really. It's not like a complete mess. There's like, by the time I ended up beating him, he was like I was kind of predicting what was going on, but I'm in no hurry to do it again. I couldn't imagine doing it with like Terra. I remember him being like kind of slow.
Oh yeah, damn! You said it was the boss in Birth by Sleep.
The mysterious figure boss in Birth by Sleep. He's like notoriously like cheap.
I don't think if it's one of those like hidden bosses and things of that nature, I probably didn't do it.
I forget.
I think I just beat the game and like moved on.
I forget what I had to do to unlock it, but yeah, there was a rigmarole surrounding it for sure. But at the time, it was like, okay, play Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm going to beat all the super bosses. Play Chain of Memories. I don't think it had super boss. 2 had tons of super bosses.
Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2. Hell yeah, it did. That got kind of irritating, honestly. Like
Organization.
I can't remember the name. Like, Part 2 had like the whole Grim Reaper kind of guy, like Death or whatever, and it had like Kurt Ziza in freaking the Aladdin place.
That was 1.
That was 1? No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. For sure. The Phantom, Sephiroth, and that Kurt Zista thing. Kingdom Hearts 2 has, or at least 2.5 or Final Cut or whatever you want to call it, has all 13 Organization 13 members you have to fight as super bosses. There's Sephiroth again. Who else is Lingering Will? Who's like the super boss. Which was, again, frustrating, was actually like a pretty good fight.
Oh yeah, Kurt Ziza was part 1. Wow, I really thought that was part 2. I must be getting them mixed up.
I mean, it's easy enough too. The earlier ones before things got like extremely complicated.
There's just too many freaking these hidden bosses and whatnot. Like that was like
no kidding.
Kingdom Hearts thing, but just make a whole bunch of bosses like, hey, if you do this, or if you go to this place, or if you collect this, then go. I'm like, well, like relax, too much. I've only ever beat like 1 or 2 of them. I think myself. There was
one's my favorite.
The rest I'm just can't be bothered.
Like I've beaten the first one, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Like I really like the first one. I also like 2. But like I like the combat better in 2, but I just like the first one better. Like it was a simpler time. The story was a little bonkers, but it hadn't gone completely off the rails yet. The level design was like a little simplistic. But like I enjoyed it the most at all of them.
No, as far as a game as a whole, I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is still probably my favorite. Part 1 was definitely good too.
It was rough.
3 was freaking great, but The problem with 3 is like it was too easy. Like,
Yeah.
damn near everyone that had a complaint about it was it's too easy. I beat it so easily, and I'm just like, well, I agreed, honestly.
Yeah.
But outside of that, 3 was great too. One and 2 had a very different level design. That's one thing. Like, if you played them back to back, you notice. It's like I freaking remember reading like comments, and they're like on YouTube. They're like, part 1 was more. The level design was more open, more so like a platformer kind of level. Part 2 was part 2. The level design was more closed. Like,
it's more like
you weren't really having to jump around everywhere, explore a lot. It was kind of more streamlined and whatnot. I feel, and I'm just like, yeah, they kind of did do that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And also the combat changed up a little bit. I feel like part 2 made it a little bit more more intuitive and not so kind of frustrating.
I agree.
But also the story kind of went like freaking and just kept going.
Well, like what kind of killed 2 is because, like, I don't know about you, but like, I'm not even sure if I knew about Chain of Memories. Even if I did, I especially didn't think that it was going to be like tied into the game. So like I go from 1 to 2, and I'm like, what is all of this other stuff that they're just talking about? It's like, actually, in Chain of Memories, it answers like all of it. But you need to play Chain of Memories. But like, if you don't know that you need to buy Game Boy Advance and play that, and at least until the PS2 version came out. Oh yeah, Gonza, how you doing? I was actually going to bring that up, and you reminded me. Yeah, apparently the Remind DLC in Kingdom Hearts 3 is like super tough.
I never bought Remind, but Chain of Memories I played because I had a Game Boy Advance and I was active, like I was on it like all the time, you know. So I played Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I never beat it though, so I knew about Organization 13 because you know, like you fight 6 of them in like Chain of Memories. I forgot which one's which.
I'm curious where you stop.
You fight some of them in Chain of Memories, and then you fight the rest in part 2. Yeah. And I was just like, what the hell? Like,
do you remember where you
stopped? Chain of Memories?
Yeah. I'm curious.
I stopped. Let's see.
Because there was
almost at the end of the game. I was almost so close. I almost beat the game with Sora, but then after that, you got to go through and beat it with Riku. I was at the end of the game with Sora on one of the last bosses. I don't remember. I was fighting one of the Organization 13 members. I don't remember which one it was.
Was it Vexen, the guy with the shield?
I really don't remember. I was like 10. Like,
okay.
I played it when it first came out.
Gotcha.
It was a long time ago.
Because I
remember I was on one of the Organization 13 members.
I hit such a brick wall with that Vexen fight. Because like that's kind of the point in the game where it's like, okay, if you think you're just gonna like mash through with no strategy, he's gonna he's stopping you dead in your tracks. You have to learn how to play the game properly, or you're just not getting past them. I had a real struggle with that. But I also played the PS2 version. The Game Boy Advance version, I like the graphic style in it way more than the PS2 version. Oh yeah, Gonza was there, raging with the Vexen fight.
I don't remember. It might have been Vexen or the one after Vexen. Because I do remember I got stuck on a freaking boss fight with Organization 13.
Gotcha.
So it was either him or the guy after him or whatever.
I don't even remember. I don't remember who was like immediately after him. I just remember being traumatized by that Vexen fight.
Might have been Axel. Might have been freaking Marluxia. It was one of them. But yeah, they were all freaking irritating. Like, and I was really close too, like beating it. Like that's
like if you made it that far, then yeah, you weren't too far from getting it. But if it was like one part like too difficult and you just didn't want to like smash your head through the wall, then I don't blame you. Especially if you're like 10.
Oh yeah, that's also. I also think I had borrowed the game and I had to return it.
Gotcha.
I remember I didn't own it. I think I borrowed it from a friend and I was like, I'm not. Where I rented it. It was one of the two. I either rented it or borrowed it, but it was on loan, so I didn't have the time to just keep trying and trying and trying.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had to give it back. Oh man, but that was a good. It was all right. I played it on the PS4. Kingdom Hearts is a weird series to me because they did something that is just so like I don't even know what to call it. They ported it freaking to every console. Like, do you remember how they had one? Do you remember how they had 1.5 HD remix or whatever on the PS3, and then they ported it 1.5 plus 2.5 on the PS4.
Yes,
and then
I have them both.
And then they made Kingdom Hearts all in one.
Yes,
which was like every Kingdom Hearts game on the PS4. I was just like, how many times are you gonna port a freaking game to the next? Because remember, they never released any Kingdom Hearts games for the PS3, but they had Kingdom Hearts game for the PS2, the Game Boy Advance, PS2, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, and PS4.
Yes.
They only skipped the PS3. Like, that was the weirdest thing to me. Oh, and they had one for the PSP, but they just completely skipped the PSP as a console. Like, that's why to me, Kingdom Hearts is a great series, but I kind of felt it was weird that they skipped the PS3.
Yeah.
I feel like certain series did that, but the biggest one is the Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean?
I keep forgetting that, and Gonza brings it up to me every so often, how there's like a rhythm Kingdom Hearts game that's out. And he's been saying I need to play with a guitar controller, which I'm not opposed to doing that. He mentions it, and then I forget, and then because I have a PS4 guitar controller, so like I don't see why I couldn't.
No, yeah, why not? I mean, I never played. That's the only Kingdom Hearts game, like besides like the mobile game or whatever, that I actually haven't played because I don't typically play rhythm games, you know. But I did hear about it for sure.
Well, I think it was partly because I was still like traumatized from like that semester of Kingdom Hearts I subjected myself to before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. I think it's been long enough that I could go back and at least play Melody of Memories with the controller. But I should also see what it is. I'm not sure how much, like if it's full game price. Because if I can get it on sale and just kind of screw around with it, I would. And then maybe I could even visit the Remind DLC at all and just see how much of a torture that'll be. But if I do that, I should really go back and play some of the other Kingdom Hearts games again, just so I have the controls down again, rather than jump into the hardest Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff with like no practice. Because I'd be super rusty.
For sure. If you want to find all those like hidden bosses and all that stuff, like it's freaking nuts. Like, they test your limits, like max out your freaking character as much as you can, and just master the controls to the point of like freaking just total irritation and like freaking obsession, damn near. You know, it's crazy.
And like I didn't really touch on this, I guess, but when I was playing all of them, I was playing it on like normal difficulty. I didn't do it on like proud mode or critical mode or anything like that. But then when I was about to do Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm like, no, I've been doing it on normal this whole time. I don't want to do it on proud mode. But like everybody is like, no, play it on. It's that easy. Play it on proud mode. So I was
Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and then I was like, you're right. You were right. I'm glad I did put it on proud mode. This is easy. Why is this so easy?
I never went back and played it on hard mode, but I did hear that even on hard mode, it really wasn't too bad, especially compared to like part 1 and 2, you know?
Even the super boss wasn't really that. Like, I died a few times. Wasn't that bad.
Proud mode was like the hardest difficulty in Kingdom Hearts, right?
At least in 3. I want to say in 2, there's critical mode, which is harder, but...
people that master that stuff, you know, props to them, because that's crazy. Like, isn't critical mode like you can't get hit or something? Like,
I'm not
crazy
sure.
Like that.
I know there's like a level 1 mode. I don't know if that's critical mode, where you're just level 1, but your damage is boosted a bit, so all fights don't take like 4 hours. But like your hit points are like itty bitty.
Yeah. Like, you basically would die like a one hit from most stuff. It's it's the way they have to like just get so detailed on that. It's just never something I did, like, at least when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts games, you know.
It is critical.
Like, I like them. I think they're freaking great, but I'm not doing all of that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But like, I'm just happy that as over Kingdom Hearts I was by the time I got to the end of 3, I more or less understood everything that was going on because I played all the other ones beforehand. But I got lazy right before 3 came. Full game, and there was like a few people that show up at the end of the game, and I'm like, who are you? How do I still not know who people are? I've been playing these games for 4 months. I think it was 4 months. I want to check.
Dude, it was so freaking much. So you played Dream Drop Distance?
Yep.
Like you beat it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, not Dream Drop Distance. What's the one I said I didn't play? I mean, Birth by man, it's too many. 358 over 2 days.
Okay, that one I didn't play because in the collection it was like a video only mode. Like it wouldn't let you play it.
Yeah.
So I was like, fine, I'll just watch it.
You would have had to pick it up on the. You would have to get it on DS.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to play it on the emulator, of course, as well.
Right.
I played it for like a minute, but I was like, I looked at it and I looked at the graphics and I was kind of like, I can't see myself playing this. Like, I never really had an original DS, but like I played a few games on it and I was just like, I
don't know why. I must have just not seen. I must have just not seen it anywhere, or else I don't see why I wouldn't have grabbed it, or I didn't see it for the right price. Like, because I got a DS like pretty early on its lifespan, and I used it a lot, like when I had it.
I never did. I never had a DS, only the 3DS, and at that point, I mean, getting like Nintendo, getting those games are just either hard to find or just mad expensive.
3DS,
so I never really.
I didn't
picked
really
up DS games and barely picked up any 3DS games, honestly.
3DS I didn't play a ton of. Like, by the time I got my 3DS, I had this apartment I live in now, so I'm like, well, I'll just play my console games. Because when I had the DS, I was more like I was working casual at the hospital, so I was working all the time. So like on my breaks and my lunches and stuff, I'd play it. Sometimes I'd be working evenings into the morning, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to the parking lot, I'm gonna play my DS for a bit, I'm just gonna sleep in the back seat. Just go to work in the morning. Because like my thought process was, even if I'm late, if they know I'm outside, they're just kind of like, oh, look at the dedication on you. Oh, well, that's fine then. Just overslept, but you're right here.
I know, right? Oh, you fell asleep in the parking lot? All right. I guess that's better than falling asleep at home or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I've had that happen before, too.
Hey, it was like that.
Where, like, I overslept one of my shifts 4 hours. And my alarm was going off the entire time.
Whoa, how is that even
I don't know.
Wow, I don't
That's how tired I was.
Freaking nuts, man.
But I woke up, I'm like, do you even want me to come in? They're like, yeah, come in. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I have no good excuse for you. I can't even say that my alarm didn't go off. It was still going off when I woke up. It was ridiculous.
I never overslept for work before. I mean,
it's not a good feeling.
Oh, I can imagine, honestly. Like, it is freaking crazy, you know? But,
it is what it is.
I freaking, sitting in the parking lot, though, I remember when I used to work at Pizza Hut, I used to pull up and freaking just be sitting in the freaking driveway, parking lot for a minute. Like, I don't want to go in this place. But I'm like, I did deliveries, so I was going to be back in my car within, like, the next 5 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
how would that have been as a gig, like delivery? Pizza delivery?
It's kind of just, I mean, it's cool. It just doesn't pay well. If you really like are in need of money, that's not the thing to do. But if you're young and you have a car and you just need a job real quick, I mean, I got hired basically like the same day I like had the job interview. Like I went there, talked to him, I left, I went somewhere else. He called me like within like an hour or less, like, hey, do you want the job? Like, you know, I was like, sure, why not? Like, it was like so simple, you know, they didn't really ask much. No drug test, no, you know, nothing. Just like, oh, is your driver's license clean? And I was like, yeah, I don't have any driver's license issues. And, you know, my car works fine. All right, cool, drive. All right, that's it. Yeah. You know, I enjoyed being able to drive, what's it called?
Like the
Being able
solitude
to like
of it.
drive around. Oh yeah, driving around and listening to music.
Yeah,
Like I can do that like all day. That's kind of my thing, is to drive around and just listen to music. You know what I mean?
yeah. I feel like that
Only
part
problem
would be
was how
cool.
much miles you put on the car.
Right.
A lot of miles. That's the most miles I put on a vehicle. I don't really
I
drive a
believe.
lot outside of that. I go to the supermarket, get food, I go here,
Right.
but that's the most miles I probably put on a vehicle before. And of course, a lot of money spent in gas. I'd have to stop.
Right.
Like after delivery, I'd have to stop, like freaking get some gas before going back to the job and pick up another like delivery and all that crap.
That would be the hurting part for sure. Because like unless
Oh,
you
when
get like
gas is
tipped
up.
well, then like
Sucks.
you're gonna paying a lot of gas.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like if you're not getting tipped well, you're making you're not breaking even, but you're not making much more than you're spending between gas and if you have to upkeep the car and whatnot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
God forbid, like
I
a
was
muffler
late to work
falls
one
off
day
or-
because my car battery died
That
on
sucks.
me, so I wasn't even able to get to work. I had to get a whole new battery, get it replaced, and then so that was like the one time I was mad late to work, but I wasn't like overslept. I just
Right.
I had to stop at the store
There was
first,
a,
have
act
them
of
replace
God
my battery for me.
as they say.
Oh man, I was like, I had to call the manager, like, oh, my car battery died. I had to replace it. I'll be there as soon as possible. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you have to deal with when your job is making deliveries.
For
You
sure.
gotta freaking make sure the car is actually running properly.
Sucks they
Outside
didn't
of that,
have
it's
like
not
a
a bad
delivery
job.
car.
Yeah, some places have you use their vehicle, but it depends on the job itself and
Right.
everything like that. But they also paid you, not much, but they paid you since you were using your own car. They paid you by the mile that you drove. Like
That's good at least.
they'd pay you like a little bit extra for like every mile that you drove from the store to the place and whatnot. So
Gotcha.
but it wasn't like much. But I mean, it would cover like gas maybe. Depending on the gas prices at the moment.
I mean, it's better
But,
than just
yeah,
having to
sucks.
soak the entire cost.
Oh no, yeah, definitely better than having to pay for it all yourself.
Hey, cool, Clever Stone, what's up?
Man. Welcome, man. Oh, dude, freaking hell! I just remembered. You know what game? Actually, no. You know what DLC just released today?
What?
20th. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. People have been waiting for this for like they announced this back in like a few months ago.
This just released.
I've been waiting for it myself. Yeah, Director's
Really?
Cut.
Okay.
It includes like
Like a
a
new
bunch
island,
of changes to like. Yeah, they had the island, Iki Island, I believe it's called.
Okay.
That expansion. That is like a whole new smaller island to do like new missions and whatnot on. Like similar to the main story campaign. I didn't get it yet because it just released today, but I'm probably gonna pick it up like pretty soon and play it and see how it goes. But I've been looking forward to it. On top of that, they also made some more changes. Like, did you play the original Ghost of Tsushima yet?
No, from what I've seen, it looks really good.
It's on my list of top 10 PS4 games, like of all times, I put Ghost of Tsushima definitely up there, like because it's by Sucker Punch. They made
Yeah, okay.
Sly Cooper and Infamous, which
Right.
are two of my favorite PlayStation series. It sold like hotcakes, like it's freaking nuts, and they got
Oh, yeah,
almost
it did.
all positive reviews by like every
Yeah.
freaking reviewer
Oh, it did
and all that stuff.
Was it Game of the Year? Like, it was at least nominated. It did
It was
phenomenally.
nominated. Unfortunately, it didn't win. In my opinion, I feel like it should have. Last
Oh,
of
yeah, it
Us
was
2
Last
won.
of Us Part 2 was, like, kind of swept the game awards.
It won some other awards for like different award shows, but
Yeah.
like the Game Awards, that one it just got nominated for. It won best like something else here and there, and but it did definitely win some awards though,
Yeah.
like overall. But definitely one of my favorite PS4 games. My favorite game of it was my game of the year from last year, probably.
Okay.
I'll put it that way. But the director's cut includes like some like changes to the game. So if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend playing it now. Because
with everything available.
oh hell yeah.
I should see if I can snipe it for, like, Black Friday or something, because that's not that far away. Like, by the time I would get around to it, it would be, like...
But the thing is, they took the original Ghost of Tsushima off the PlayStation Store. I don't know if you've seen.
No.
Like,
What?
people were commenting like they were upset. Like, the original Ghost of Tsushima is not even on a PlayStation Store anymore. You have to buy the director's cut if you want to get it digitally. Which also, since it's the director's cut, it costs more. You know?
Right.
So now you can't even buy Ghost, because Ghost of Tsushima had dropped in price because it came out like a year ago.
Right.
But now, since the director's cut is out, it's back to full price, and you have to buy that version unless you get a disc. Like I have it on disc,
that's,
so I
that's
still
a
play
little sleazy.
It really, that's like the one thing that really bothered me is I'm like, why would you do that?
Just have both at
so
full
now you
price
have
then.
to. Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you already have the original, you can upgrade. But they made it complicated. Like, if you just want to upgrade from the PS4 version to the PS4 version of the Director's Cut, it's $20. But if you want to upgrade from the PS4 version to the PS5 version of the Director's Cut, it's $30 instead. So I'm like, I'm paying an extra $10 because I'm playing it on PS5. I'm like,
Whatever.
I know the PS5 version has like slight enhancements, like
Sure.
faster loading or whatever, but I'm like, I'm paying a $10 extra
Well,
for
that'd be
that.
more the
like,
hardware rather than the game, wouldn't it? Hey, Vile, what's up?
Yeah,
My camera's not here.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
why
looking
it's
over.
that's why it's weird to me. Like, it should be the same price whether you're upgrading from PS4 or PS5, the PS4 or getting the PS5 version. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? But that was like one of the things that bothered me. But it has some changes. It has the new island. That's the main thing. And then they're changing like this is something my friend said. He mentioned and he was looking forward to it. The Japanese dub apparently is going to have they improved the lip syncing.
That's
for
cool.
the Japanese dub. It's one of the most randomest things to me, like to throw in. They said
it
like,
is random to improve that,
like,
but like it's cool that they
for the PS5. Apparently, the PS5 hardware is better, so they can do more real time lip syncing rather than having it be like off base a little bit. Now it's more like real time, like it would be like a live action kind of thing. I'm like, I don't really think I pay attention to that kind of stuff that much. You know what I mean?
I don't.
But I'm like,
typically,
right.
but like when you said that, it just reminded me how like when I played Final Fantasy 13, it didn't occur to me till like right at the end of the game it's that like all the voice acting is lip synced in English. So there must be a Japanese version where it's also lip synced. Like I didn't expect that. I know it's not the most popular Final Fantasy. But
apparently they added a whole bunch of other stuff too, but I'm like, the main thing is really that island also. But I'm like, man, they gotta freaking I feel like they gotta do more if they really want to have you pay like extra just to be having the PS5 version. Because the main difference is the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, really.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because that's PS5 exclusive features because it's based on the hardware of the controller and whatnot. Mm-hmm. You know, like the whole DualSense controller thing. Right. So I'm like, what? Like, but I mean, it was a great game, still my favorite of the year. But if you go straight from not having a game to buying Director's Cut, the PS5, it's $70. And I'm just like, why? It's still a PS4 game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's not like it's
I thought the $70 price tag was going to be PS5 exclusive games only, like Ratchet and Clank.
Right.
So I feel like the pricing was really the issue I had with it. I haven't played it yet, but I'm sure, you know, adding stuff onto it and making like fixes can only even improve it even more, you know? Mm-hmm. But I think like some of that stuff is shady when it comes to pricing and whatnot. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm probably going to go on the PlayStation Store and like, since I have the disc, I'm going to have to like pop the disc in and then download like the PS5 upgrade. Right. But I'm still going to have to, I still have to have the PS4 disc in to play. It's just confusing. Like,
that is weird.
I'm like, what?
So you need the PS4 disc in the PS5 to play the updated PS5 version of the game.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake did that too. Like, you can upgrade to the PS5 version, but you have to put in the PS4 disc and then go onto the PS Store and purchase the PS5 upgrade. And I'm just like, I'm like, why am I paying extra? I'm like, it's already got enough. I spent all this money on the console.
Right.
But that's like I feel like that's some kind of, like you said, sleazy. I'm going to say that's some sleazy freaking upgrading or backwards compatibility process. I don't think there should be like extra fees associated with it because these are
Agreed.
originally PS4 games. You
Yeah.
know, they're just making updates or adding DLC and fixes and whatnot. You know.
And like I just happened to go to like a Walmart and was looking at just like PS games and stuff, and just the prices of them was give me cold sweats. It's like 80 plus, like pushing $90. It's like, ugh. You're killing me.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I'm gonna have to really
the
want a
main
game
reason
to
for the
pay
lip sync is for the
$90.
Japanese player base that the game also blew up. The Japanese are blown away by how accurate Sucker Punch was.
Oh.
Really? Okay, so that's why they added the changes to the Japanese lip syncing. I never played with the Japanese voices on. I played it in its English, and I feel like the English voice actors did a great job, you know. But some people would prefer the Japanese voice acting.
Right.
I get it because it takes place in Japan, so I don't blame them for that at all. You know what I mean? It's more
I get it in that
like realistic,
case.
you know.
I personally never use the Japanese dub. Like I know some people prefer it, but like I would rather, unless I have to, I would rather just listen than like read the subtitles. Like I can watch something that's subbed, but my preference is not. And like some people just straight up prefer Japanese voice acting, but like I have such a perverse pleasure in bad voice acting. So like even if Japanese voice acting is good, I want to hear bad English voice acting. It just tickles me.
Oh yeah, and also it's your native language. It's what you're the most fluent in. So you know, things that it's just gonna be better to hear that for the average person. You know, I prefer it. Even with like Judgment. Judgment has, out of all the Yakuza games, even though Judgment is a spin-off, like that's the only game that has an English dub. So I'm like, I'll play in English. You know?
The rest of them are actually Japanese dub. I didn't know that.
Yakuza, the whole Yakuza series is Japanese only. Only Judgment and the sequel that comes out in like when does it come out? Judgment Lost Eyes or something?
Not sure. Like a Dragon's also Japanese dub? Or have you played that?
Yeah. I haven't played Like a Dragon yet. But I think it's Japanese only, yes.
Okay.
Oh no, it's called Lost Judgment. That's the sequel.
Like it won't make me not play them. I just didn't realize that.
Oh wow. Freaking Lost Judgment comes out in September. I'm looking forward to that. Because freaking
eventually I'm gonna get pulled into
the original came out like 3 years ago.
To the Yakuza games.
You haven't played any of them yet?
Not yet. They're still right in this general area. Like I still have this one just within arm's reach. Like I haven't forgotten about them. Like they're right here.
You have Yakuza Kiwami. You have to. I would recommend starting with that one for sure.
Yeah, because I have.
I recommend starting with that one and then go back and play 0.
Okay. I keep forgetting which ones I have, but it's that one, and thank you, Vile, again for that. I have this one. I want to say it's this one, Zero Judgment, and like another one. I have to go back and watch that video because I did a video when I got them. So I just have to make sure I still like can keep track of them all, make sure I'm not missing any.
But yeah, that's what people have been looking forward to. Like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I feel like this is going to become a thing. Like more. Remember, what was that movie that got a Director's Cut that was like mad long? Was it Superman versus Justice League? Right? People were like raving about the Director's Cut.
I don't know if it was like semi-recently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was Justice. I just checked.
Okay.
It was it's called the Snyder Cut. Like some people call it that.
I definitely heard people talk about it, but I didn't see it. So.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. I never was into like director's cuts. The only game I know of really that got another director's cut was like Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was gonna.
So remember how there was
bring
like
that up.
2 or 3 different versions of part one? There was like
Mhm.
part one, then there was the director's cut, and then there was like another version. I
Yes.
think like the Japanese version got like a different. This is
And some of that
But
music
yeah,
is
freaking,
special. Like
Yeah.
the farting trumpet music that's in the kitchen, I think. I forget now. Or in the lab. I
in
can't
Resident
remember.
Evil 1.
In Resident Evil 1, there's one version of the game has like this completely absurd, it's either like a like farting trumpets or it's just really bizarre sounding. I think it's supposed to be unsettling, but it's like, what is this?
Yeah, apparently Zack Snyder's director's cut or whatever went from the movie originally being 2 hours to freaking 4 hours. I
Wow,
think that's crazy.
That's really. It was still
I-
good.
I mean, people seem to like it. I mean, they doubled the length of it basically, and
That's like
I mean, I guess they just left in all the stuff that they cut out.
right, but like I guess it was.
I couldn't imagine
decent
sitting in the
enough.
movie theater watching a 4-hour movie though. That's crazy to me. I never
like,
saw the original one though. I haven't really watched
I agree with you,
DC movies.
but I do also find it funny how I share that sentiment, but I will still sit down and play a game for hours at a time, and that's like somehow different to me. I didn't realize
Oh
Code
yeah,
Veronica.
Code Veronica did get another version.
I didn't realize that X was like a director's cut. When I played Code Veronica.
Yeah,
I
didn't.
Which needs a remaster. By the way, Capcom, because I know you're listening.
I know that needs to get a remake. They're jumping over to 4. I don't know why.
Well, it's like their cash cow. Like
You know,
I can't
it's
help
kind
but
of ridiculous to me.
I can't help but feel that Capcom's just kind of looking over at Final Fantasy VII remake and be like, we should remake our best game too, rather than do it in what I would consider a more logical order. Because Code
it's
Veronica
a whole
X
bunch of.
needs a remaster more than 4 does. 4 still. I forget what my issues with 4 was when I was playing it, but it was like a little. Something was like a little dated, but it was still like very good.
Well, Code Veronica released about 3 years, I think, before Resident Evil 4. Wait, 5 years, around about 4 years or so.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 came out January 05. It first released, and then Code Veronica first released in freaking February 2000. So I mean, yeah, some freaking years. So graphically, it was improved and whatnot.
I'd love to see it. I want to see that one redone. I would like to see 0 redone.
Yeah, again. Well, yeah, 0 never got a remake or anything like that.
There's a lot of stuff in 0 that frustrated me, but
Well, hell, Code Veronica was a Dreamcast only game until they ported it over to the PS. Yeah, Code Veronica was Dreamcast only. X was the one that was on PS2, GameCube, and whatnot.
Yeah,
I forgot where I played, I remember I watched my sister play it like years ago when I was a kid. I think she played it on my Dreamcast.
Yeah,
thing.
I played it
Or
a
maybe
little
was
bit
X.
on Dreamcast, but then I streamed X. I don't know. It was years ago now. Code Veronica X is an extra scene where Wesker actually meets Claire Redfield, and the extended ending with Chris and Wesker fighting. Okay.
Cool.
I still need to play 7 and 8.
8 and 7 and 8 both got a lot of praise. I never played them myself. I've seen various things like here and there about it, though. You know, but it seems like it's done up pretty
totally
well.
Spoiled Resident Evil 8 for myself, but I don't think it like really ruined anything for me. I don't know how much you've heard about, but there's like one segment in that game. I don't think I would have been overly impressed if I didn't find out about it first. There's just like one monster that's like, why is this so creepy? So when I saw it, it's like,
on
oh,
8?
Good lord, yeah.
Oh man, they changed it first person. That made everything so much more different, and I feel like that made it even scarier. Like it went back to being like a horror, like for real.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I'll play those. I still need to actually play the Revelation games. I think there's 2 of them.
I'm on the PlayStation Store trying to figure out how to actually upgrade my Ghost of Tsushima to the director's cut for the PS5. I'm like, they shouldn't make this so complicated.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
What are they doing? Like, I see Ghost of Tsushima director's cut, PS4, and then one says PS4 and PS5, but I'm like, that's the full game. I just need the
like the DLC,
director's cut version, like DLC and everything like that. But then this one says upgrade for PS4, and then I'm like, okay, so how do I upgrade to the PS5? I'm like, I don't have my PS5 with me right now, so maybe you have to go on the PS5 and check the store there, because I'm looking at the desktop store, obviously, so it probably is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's probably going to be directly on the PS5 itself, probably.
Gotcha. How's it going, King?
So when I get back to my PS5, I'm gonna have to check it myself.
That would make sense, though.
Speaking of which, I still have to get the DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake also.
Oh, you still haven't touched
Speaking of games that got a DLC. Yeah, I didn't get that one yet. I've been playing all these other games still. I was planning on getting it once I finished another game. And then another one popped up and I'm just like, DLC is not a rush for me.
Yeah.
I prefer if it got on hell, I would love it if it went on sale. I doubt it will be.
I wouldn't count on that going on sale anytime soon. But I guess it was like a PS Plus game, so I guess anything could happen.
Possibly. It would be nice. If I wait long enough, then it just goes on sale. I'll be like, oh, freaking great. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're not in a hurry, you may as well wait.
I refuse to call it a new RE game an RE game. I just call it Village. I never played it, but I watched my friend play it. Like, he streamed it and whatnot. I watched, and it's just it's different. I've played Resident Evil 4. I mean, not 4. I never played 4. I played 5. I played 6. I've watched people play, like every single other Resident Evil game and whatnot. 7 and 8, I feel like are a drastic change from what I've seen for sure. It's just crazy between turning it first person and changing the whole main character to someone completely different and new, and removing all these other characters that were mainstays and whatnot. It feels like a drastic difference. I mean, 1, 2, and 3, and Code Veronica feel different than 4, 5, 6.
Oh, big time.
4 is similar because it's Leon, but I mean, the gameplay wise,
it's more action-y for sure.
For sure.
And then I imagine,
I just don't know what drastic changes then
whatever they do for Resident Evil 9, I'm sure it'll be first person again. Then they'll have a trilogy of those.
Yeah, that seems like how they're going to do it, because 7, 8, 9 are probably going to be like that. 4, 5, and 6 were like this. 1, 2, and 3 were like this. And then 0, with the Code Veronica.
Yeah, even 0 is kind of its own thing.
Yes, 0 was because it was the only one, or the first one, that had that really okay, we're switching off to this character now, and you know what I mean?
And their pickup sticks inventory system.
Oh man, you had to just drop stuff. If you couldn't carry it, leave it there. There was no storage boxes or whatever, right?
Right. I appreciate the attempted realism, but I didn't care for the system.
Yeah, it's realistic, but it makes playing a game.
I want realism in my zombie horror games.
Yeah, seriously, it's nuts. You know what I mean? I don't know what they were thinking with that. Just make it. It's not even make it difficult. Let's just make it really annoying.
Right. It fascinates me though to no end that the first Resident Evil game I ever beat was Resident Evil 0.
Oh, really?
Because back when I streamed it, I did not care for it. I raged really bad, and then I took a break from streaming for a bit. Then came back to it and got through it, but I was like, how is this the one I beat? Because I'll swear up and down that Resident Evil 2 is my favorite one. Didn't beat that one. Played 3, didn't beat it. Played 1, didn't beat it. Played 4, didn't beat it. Played a little bit of 5, didn't beat it. It wasn't until I started streaming that I beat any of them, other than 0, which I beat.
Oh, it seems like streaming gave you that extra push to really go ahead and finish it. Yeah.
Well, streaming, it's unless I'm really not enjoying a game, I'll generally force myself to beat them.
Yeah, no, for sure, me too.
Which I say is how I'm going to get through the Zelda games. But like at the start of the year, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to play a bunch of Nintendo stuff this year. I played like Legend of Zelda 1. I did like a couple Mario 35 streams, and I did like my Mother 2 Deluxe Let's Play thing, but like I barely touched any Nintendo stuff, and as it stands right now, I'm leaning more towards playing some like retro JRPGs on PS1 than I am doing like Nintendo stuff. But I mean, I got my whole life, right?
I'm gonna be finished up with Samurai Warriors 5 soon, and then I'm gonna play freaking. I don't even actually. I'm probably gonna play the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to go. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go on my PlayStation 5 and just go into the store itself and do it directly. I just gotta probably pop the game in, like the disc in, probably, and then that'll like prompt me to do it or something like that.
Gotcha.
You know, rather than checking on like the desktop or whatever. But hell, man, freaking. You know, last week we talked about the Steam Deck and the Nintendo OLED and whatnot, and the possible PlayStation new rumor that they had about like, oh, we're gonna make a new PlayStation Portable, PS Vita, or like I forgot what they would call it. Like some people are saying like the PSP 5G, or just throwing out random names, but it's all hearsay and rumors.
Right.
But what else has been popping up in gaming news lately?
Well, wasn't there like I kind of wanted to bring up this individual anyway, but like wasn't there I thought Soulja Boy was making like a portable console.
He said a lot of stuff.
And
man.
by console I mean a machine that just has like ROMs on it.
I mean, he did that already, didn't he? Basically,
well, he had the Soulja Boy console, which I guess he didn't actually give a lot of people.
Did he? Is this like a whole separate thing than that?
Yes, and then there's like a one that's fashioned more like a Game Boy.
I don't know what he's. It's funny. I don't understand what he's doing. I feel like it's just largely for
a PR stunt.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's a lot of PR involved when it comes to stuff like that, which makes sense. He finds a way to keep himself in the news.
Yeah.
And it's been like that since he first came out 15 freaking years ago. I was like in high school or something like that.
Like for
so props to him for that. But I'm just surprised he's no longer in the news for like his music or TV or whatever. Now it's like, what is this thing where he's trying to do like gaming now and be in the headlines for gaming culture? I'm like, it's so random to me. I'm like, this is the dude that had that dance when I was in high school. Like, what?
Like, for what it's worth, I had no idea who he was until this whole console drama. So if it's like to get exposure, then mission accomplished. Hey,
oh really? You never listened to the
I'm sure I've heard.
He had a lot of
music, but like I didn't know that. I'm not like, oh, sick. This is the Soulja Boy song. Like I don't know.
He's known for being one of the like first hip hop artists that was made famous based on the internet. You know?
Oh, okay, that makes
like
sense.
that's really his claim to fame.
Oh,
like he blew up his whole fan base. He was like MySpace days. You know? Okay. Like because he's only slightly older than me. Time when we were all, I don't know if you had MySpace and like all that stuff, but
I missed out on
MySpace. Everybody was on MySpace. They used to post up music. They used to do all that stuff. You know, LimeWire. I remember he had a story because I watched like an interview of his or something like that. He said remember LimeWire. People used to use that to download music like all the time.
Yep.
He used to put his music on LimeWire, like upload it there, and he would title it like popular songs at the time that people were looking for to download, and he would just title his music as that song or whatever, and then like people would download it, and that I feel like that's so like distasteful.
It's diabolical.
It worked. You think you're getting like, I mean, at the time, let me see, 50 Cent, Kanye West, you know, like were big. Like you think you're getting a new Kanye West song, and it's like this random teenager from like the middle of nowhere. And it worked though. Like that's the craziest.
Yeah.
Like that's why I feel like, hats off to him. Like even though I never really found his music that like entertaining.
I mean, you can't. Some of it was
catchy, but he definitely did it. Like he used the internet to his advantage. That's the kind of like to be like a freaking high schooler and figure that out. That is the kind of stuff that I respect. I'm like when I was 14 or 15 or whatever, I didn't even have that kind of mind state or mindset.
No.
You know,
making money. What do you mean? I have games to play.
Yeah, I
mean,
I
think
wanted
about how to leverage
money,
the internet to become a millionaire. I don't have time
but
for that.
yeah, I wasn't thinking about like, can I use the internet to make freaking millions? I was kind of like, yeah, the internet's fun. There's games, there's people. I was busy, honestly. At that time, I was busy like socializing, making friends online, and playing games online. You know, like community stuff like that. I wasn't really like, let me try to get rich. Let me try to make a career off this. You know,
Right.
And that was back in 2006 or around 7, around there. You know.
Yeah.
But times definitely now everyone does that at a certain point, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's just the thing. You
Different
throw
times,
your music on, you throw your music on everywhere.
Yeah.
You get in the headlines for some random thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, do this and now it's just like not even a freaking anything to take a second look at. You know, like oh, another person's doing it.
Well, he was
whatever,
like at the time he was a pioneer.
Yeah. Now it's just like, oh, there's the latest artist like doing some like random like freaking drama online to get views. Oh my god, like it's a snore now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back then I was really like, whoa, that was new, innovative. We gotta find. I wonder who the next person is gonna do something innovative like that. I think it'd be interesting, you know.
I'm wondering if we're gonna get some other like, what would you even call it? Like media source where people could even go to like start over again, like to be like at the forefront, because like now we have the internet. It's basically like interactive TV. Where do you even go from there?
Oh man, I don't know.
But like, if you asked me before the internet, I would have been like, well, we have TV. What could possibly be next? So I don't know. Maybe
oh
the
man,
people smarter than
oh man. Oh yo, welcome Fade. Oh, it's nuts. I don't know. Like. Apparently, Soulja Boy claimed that he's the new owner of Atari.
Yes.
That's the headline I just saw. Yep. And I'm just like, and then the next headline, it says Atari denies it's owned by Soulja Boy. I'm just like, hours later, like, that was quick.
I was going to bring that up. I thought that was hilarious because I heard that he said that, and I'm like, I mean, that's crazy, but I don't know. I don't think Atari's that big nowadays. Maybe he did. And then, like, then Atari, like, Twitter's back, and they're like, no. The CEO is this person.
Oh man, it's so funny. Yeah, he.
Why would you lie about that? It's just such.
It's for headlines. It's like Vile said, he's desperate for relevancy, but it has to be working. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like who
we're
does?
Talking about him.
I didn't. You know, like who? I don't know which word you want to call it, but I'm gonna just say foolish. Who does foolish stuff like that? You know what I mean? If it's not working. Who does it repeatedly? You know what I mean? And to be in the public eye, you know, it's just you either are like insane or it's working. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, or both. You know?
Yeah, it's probably both.
Yeah. It's funny though. This is not even the first time. You know, he did it a few years ago when he said like, "Oh, I'm signed with this company." You know, with like a online gambling company or something like that. He said like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make $1 billion from it," and then they came back and they were like, "His deal is not for $1 billion. Like it's for like 10 million. Like we don't know where he came up with that number. Like it's just so funny." I'm like, he's
habitual
like, the
liar, but makes money hands over fists doing it. So like, why stop?
It speaks to like a whole generation of people that it's just about clickbait. Like that's what we have to do basically.
Seems
we have to become clickbaiters. Okay, I'm going to make a proclamation right now. Next week, I'm going to have 10 million followers. Okay, cool.
Good.
Now they got to do something crazy to make it happen. Just jump out the window, record myself doing it.
The console is taking pre-orders now. It's just
Next
a TI-83 calculator.
Next year, I'm going to buy Nintendo, guys. That's the thing. So when it comes around, if I don't have it, it's whatever. But I could say it, though, you know? Like, we're at the day and age where you can basically say whatever you want. And it's just like, as long as you don't offend like certain people
Right.
that have like the authority to do whatever, like it's okay. It's like I hate video gamers. I wish they all die. All right, million views. Okay, I'm famous now. It's like,
Yeah.
like the nuttiest stuff. I never liked it, but I do recognize that it does often work.
I mean, if it works, it works. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Hey, you know. Well, it's people that want to get, you know, it's
Right.
it's the companies, the websites that have like an actual following that put this as a headline. They and it's just like freaking endless. You know? So, hey, what do you do about it? You know.
Right.
I don't know if he got sued from Nintendo, Vile. I don't think they sued him. They probably did give him a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Yeah, they I'm pretty sure they told him like just like stop. we're going to sue you if you keep going.
Yeah, stop selling our games on your ROM console, please.
Yeah, it's like
Nintendo's coming after smaller people for less.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like random YouTubers with like freaking 100 subscribers. They're like, you're going down, man.
Like, oh, you made a 3D version of Legend of Zelda for the NES? That's cool. C and D. It's like, okay.
We're taking you down, mister. It's like, why? I don't like. What did they do to you?
Are you gonna make it? No, you just can't make it.
Yeah, I hate that. It's like, unless you planned on doing it already, it's like, okay, but
like at least with like was it Metroid AM2R? Like at least they did that.
That was that was the remake of the first game, right? Or second?
I think it was the second game, the Game Boy one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, here. I don't know any company that can buy Nintendo. Honestly, freaking Vile. Like
no, they're a juggernaut.
Freaking Google. Like,
maybe. They'd still probably just laugh in Google's face.
Like, holy
like
crap.
they did with Microsoft. Because didn't Microsoft try to buy them recently, and they're like, that's a good joke. They're like, well, fine, we'll buy Bethesda then.
According to Google, which is probably not exactly accurate, but you know, as close as we could get, it says that they have a net worth of 95 billion, and it's the third most valuable company in Japan. So yeah, only Google and like Microsoft, or not Facebook rather, might have like more, and companies like Apple,
Amazon, and stuff
like that. You know,
like giants.
Yeah, Amazon.
Giants.
You know, hell, when I freaking Googled Amazon's, that crap says like over $1 trillion, and I'm just like, I mean, okay, I guess that's ridiculous. C&D for the fan-made 3D GameCube version of Chrono Trigger. They had a fan. I didn't even know they made a fan-made GameCube version.
I didn't know it was supposed to be GameCube, but it was like a 3D Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. I don't think I ever played it.
I don't think it ever got to come out. I think it was just more like demos of it, but it looked alright. But the guy that did that either worked for Square or like worked for Eidos or something. Like he had a job in like game development. So I didn't feel like as bad for him when that happened, but still, it's kind of like, this was years ago. Square's clearly not going to do it, so why ruin his fun? And everyone else's fun. Since they seem to have no interest in the series anymore for some reason. Even though it's like the most universally like JRPG on the planet. Chrono Trigger.
Hey,
like if I were to recommend any
I never
RPG
played it.
Sorry. Just
I only played Chrono Cross. That was the one for the PS2. Right?
Oh man, you've never played Chrono Trigger?
I played that one a little bit. No, I've seen it, but I never played it.
Okay, I like Chrono Cross. I think it's underrated. But like Chrono Trigger's like top 3 favorite games ever for me. I love that game. But
really?
Like, what was I gonna say? I forget. but it's great. Well, yeah, like if I were to recommend an RPG to someone who's never played RPGs before, I would say Chrono Trigger or Super Mario RPG.
Oh no, I've heard. I played Super Mario RPG. I never beat it, but Chrono Trigger. I know people say it's one of the best JRPGs ever. I never really played it, but I don't know exactly what it is that makes it that way. Like, what would you say is like that just standout thing? Like, yo, this is above.
It's kind of hard. How do I even explain what it is? I think part of it was like a perfect storm because it was made by like a Square Dream Team. Plus, they had like the Dragon Ball creator do all the sprite work for it. And just the way they like.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, and then they like tied together.
Some of the characters look like they freaking came out of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's like it's 100% Akira Toriyama.
Like hell, one of them looked like freaking Goku. One of them looked like Bulma. I feel like when I saw the characters, I was like,
"Oh yeah,
okay, cool."
Magus looks like Vegeta. Well, kind of like Piccolo, kind of like Vegeta. Like it's clearly like he has such a distinct style. But yeah, if you ever get the chance to play Chrono Trigger, I couldn't recommend it much more highly. Like even though it's like 25 years old now. Like, the graphics still look pretty good. If there's one complaint I have about the game at all, and this, I don't even personally care about this, but some people care about this sort of thing, is like there isn't a lot of, like, animation with the sprites, like, with certain, like, cutscenes and stuff, but, like, I don't care. Like, the soundtrack's phenomenal. It's just, it's lovely. It's a lovely game.
You could like cats to break. That's freaking nuts. That's mad random. Like,
I mean, you definitely.
I love JRPGs that just have this randomness in them.
You definitely can do that.
Oh man.
When the game starts out, it like puts you in a fair. You can just kind of mess around a bit. I don't know. Hard for me to like. I'm trying to like contextualize like what it is about Chrono Trigger that I like so much. But like I don't know, it's like gameplay is fun. Like it's not random battles or anything. Like it's enemies are on the screen, so you can avoid battles if you want. There's like double. I guess you would know from Chrono Cross, but like there's double and triple techs in Chrono Trigger. There's more of them in Chrono Trigger, I think, where like you're with a teammate. Like, say you have Luca in your party, she can set your sword on fire, and then you hit them with, like, a fire sword, so it'll do more damage. Stuff like that. Just gameplay's tight, music's phenomenal, graphics are good. Strong showing. Oh, was that Masuda did the... Oh, yeah. Because Chrono Cross's music is also phenomenal. Maybe even better than Chrono Trigger somehow.
The one you'd have to play to understand its majestic glory. No, I feel you, man. I feel you. That's one of those classic JRPGs that I haven't played yet, like freaking Final Fantasy IV or
that would be a
whichever one that was.
That would be a sick game to stream blind. Chrono Trigger.
Really?
People, I think people will go crazy for it, but like,
I haven't streamed a retro game honestly in quite a while. Like the last one was like, I don't even remember, like Mega Man X something or something like that. One of those games.
Gotcha.
But hell. I feel like JRPGs, you know, I feel like they're one of the longest run genres as a whole in video gaming.
Yes.
More so than first-person shooters, third-person shooters, like
time.
All that stuff.
Well, they were a thing before video gaming was even really a thing with like Dungeons and Dragons. Like RPGs are
true.
Ancient. Like the concept.
Hell, yeah. They had them on a PC where it was just like text and everything, kind of like freaking like role playing and everything like that, right?
And even just like pen and paper sometimes. Like I've done pen and paper Dungeons and Dragons before. You just kind of you figure out your stats and then someone just kind of tells you the story, and you just kind of imagined everything and just work through
True
it.
indeed.
Roll dice. Dungeons and Dragons is actually a good time. I can never get a crew together consistently. To like anytime I've ever started to play it, like I only get like 2 or 3 games in, and then it all falls apart for some reason.
That's one of the games I never played D&D before. I've seen a few people that talk about playing it and whatnot. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I keep greeting people and like, because normally my camera's over here, so like I'm muscle memorying being like, oh hey, my camera's in front of me. I love doing that.
Oh, you moved the location of it?
Yeah, like for the podcast, I just prefer to have more of like a straight on. Because normally I have it like tilted, so it's like, okay, the game's like on this side of the screen, I'm on this side of the screen. But with this format, I'm like, I should be kind of centered. But
yeah, I mean, I be switching back from my one monitor to my other monitor, like freaking checking out both.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get like a 3 monitor setup. I feel like that'd be even cooler.
3 monitors, yeah. I want a whole wall of monitors.
No
I love extra monitors. It's so useful.
There's like no space, honestly, for me to do it. Like my desk is taken up from this end to this end. It's like my speakers, the monitors, and my speakers. That's about it.
You do have dual monitors.
That's like small.
You have 2?
Yeah, I have 2.
That's
I have
at least. I couldn't imagine streaming with 1 monitor. That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, like I have the chat typically pulled up on one, and then I have the game one I pulled up on the other, and just go back and forth pretty much. Yeah, imagine 3. I feel like 3 would be cool, having 1 centered and 2 on the side, just to check various things and whatnot. But even then, I feel like they'd be more like freaking hectic. But for people that get used to it, I guess, probably comes a matter of like practice and whatnot, or getting adjusted.
But yeah, I can't like, not to beat a dead horse, but like I couldn't recommend playing Chrono Trigger much more. Now that I know you haven't played it, now that it's like.
No, like I know you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
You got to play Ghost of Tsushima, man. You got to. I would say now just really get the director's cut. You know, because it's basically full price of the game anyway, but you're getting the DLC expansion and all like the improvements and updates and all that stuff that they changed. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So I really say like, if you have time to like play it right now or soon, just go for it. If you're like busy. Like you mentioned Black Friday. If you're busy up until Black Friday, you know what I mean? Since that's like another just now at this point, it's like 3 months away, really. Like if you're busy up until then, just wait and see if it goes on sale, like on the PS Store or something like that. But I definitely recommend playing it. You know, like if it's not on sale Black Friday, then just make the jump and get it, or maybe it'll go on sale like somewhere else, but like before then or whatever. But
I'll keep an eye open for it, or if I feel it calling me, then just grab it. Yeah, and like Vile wouldn't know this, but like you know nothing about Undertale, right? Like nothing.
What do I know about it? I mean,
if you know nothing, don't look it up.
I'm just looking at the artwork.
Okay.
For I trying to remember if that's the game I played. I mean, not played, but
if like, it's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, but I know there was like memes made from. Oh, yes. I think this one had like some random meme that I saw before. Like it was based on this game, yeah.
That game was gigantic.
That's Undertale.
It still has a huge fan base.
Yeah, I think I got Undertale mixed up with like a whole different game or something like that. Okay. Really.
The only thing about streaming Undertale blind is I guarantee you 5 seconds in, anyone that was watching it would spoil it. Not even meaning to.
Really?
I guarantee you.
Why?
It's just like I can't even explain why without spoiling it.
Oh damn!
the less you know about the game going in, the less you know going in, the better. Like when it first came out and I played it, I already knew too much. Just looking at like the opening trailer. Like if I didn't see that and just played it, it would have been better.
Okay, I see. It came out. It says 2015, so it's been some years now. So I'm not surprised that a lot of people have like already dove pretty deep into it.
Oh yeah, that game was massive. Like
it's available like damn near everywhere too, isn't it?
Yes, And like, for what it's worth, I did a short video on Undertale, and it was something that I still hadn't experienced. So it was a blind experience. That was like my most viewed video.
Cool.
So it's like, I don't know, something to consider.
Now that's something that is something I gotta freaking think about. I mean, since it is available like freaking damn near everywhere anyway, I'm sure I could find something to play it on.
Because like for reference, like my second most viewed video is a Final Fantasy VII video, short video that has 17,000 views. This Undertale video has 740,000 views.
Really? And is it short you made on Undertale?
Yes, it was just a clip of the stream that I did, but it was the right one.
That's nuts. Like, seriously.
Oh, that was a rush seeing that pop off. It's like, oh my god, I finally did it. Only took me 11 years.
Like, that's the kind of hit that I would love to get. Like, oh, a random, like, freaking 750,000 views. I'm like, something. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd definitely take that.
Oh, it's nuts.
I mean, hell.
It's such an adrenaline rush. I don't know what to say. I hope you get to experience it soon.
I really would love to. Speaking of freaking YouTube, I haven't been posting like videos lately. I've only been like streaming and whatnot. But I want to get back. I want to get back to doing it probably like the top of the month, September.
Right.
I want to try to get back to doing it more regularly because it's been a good few weeks since I have like about a month or so now, I'd say.
It's good,
but I want to get back into it. Oh yeah. Also, I'm trying to maybe start something new as well. I got to work out all the details. Like first, work them out up here, right? And then I'm gonna freaking probably just freaking try to hit the ground running. Honestly,
it's good.
You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes you just kind of got to get out of your routine or whatever, and be like, oh, I should do this and this and this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, trying something new never freaking really hurt. You know what I mean?
Right. Because you never know what people are interested in you and interested in watching, and what you might have an aptitude for that you didn't even really think about. Be like, you know what, people like these and I like doing these, and it's kind of off my beaten path. But when you notice something's working on YouTube, you lean into it with everything you got.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, all right, let's go full throttle in this now. And if it works, then that's freaking great. If it doesn't, all right, try something new. Yeah. But I feel like a topic I want to touch on more in general when it comes to my channel is the whole, well, like, as much as I sit here and talk about video gaming, like, freaking every day I could do that. Mm-hmm. I feel like another topic really honestly is music, and that's not something we talk about too much here, right? Except for like just now with the whole Soldier Boy thing, because he's like a headline again,
right?
But I feel like that's really like where my head has just been at for a long time now, but I never really put it into my channel too much, What I mean?
How would you approach that, or have you thought about that?
That's basically what I'm thinking about now, honestly, like how to implement that. Like I've already been doing like album reviews. Okay. You know what I mean? Like listening to various albums, taking suggestions, like, oh, what would you guys like me to review next, and give my opinion on, and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Like, it's kind of fun to do occasionally. Yeah. And I do like doing that. I feel like I want to continue doing that actually, because I did stop for a little while. Mm-hmm. Because I was just like, but now I'm kind of like, I do actually like doing that. And I feel like people love music. And people love to hear.
It's like
people love to hear others' opinions on it.
It's one of the oldest forms of media.
Exactly.
Time itself.
Exactly.
You're hard pressed to find someone who's like, I don't like music. It's like, what's wrong with you? How do you not like music?
Like at all? Like
like
I've only met like one person in my life probably that I talked to them, and they were like, no, I don't really listen to music. And I was just like, whoa, what? I was like, this is crazy. Like, I've never heard anyone say that. It was
Like-
so weird to me. I didn't know how to like respond. I was like, wait, you don't listen to music?
I can wrap my head around someone saying that they don't listen to music, but it's like, yeah, but what songs do you like? You can't tell me that you don't like any songs.
Exactly.
That's
like,
weird.
You know?
Like, it's weird enough to like not listen to anything, but
Oh no, definitely. I mean, not everything, but damn near anything could be considered music if you put
Right.
the right like rhythm to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Even just you're talking, like
big time.
it added production in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, this is freaking musical.
Like I was
Yeah, King Baboon. What you listen to? Rap? Yes, 9 out of 10 times I'm listening to music. I will be listening to hip hop, but I do listen to other stuff like just pop, so on and so forth. But it's mostly hip hop. I mean, even honestly, the stuff I personally watch, like I watch a lot of like hip hop related channels, to be quite honest, and that's kind of like, kind of what I really just find myself into, honestly. Like I feel like I want to start doing more reviews, but that's kind of why I have a whole second channel, is so I can separate these 2 or 3 huge interests that I have
Right.
that I can sit and make videos about, so they're not all just like a
variety channel,
amalgamation of like random stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like honing in more on that. Like I've taken requests like even from like I remember an indie artist, like an up and coming one from like overseas.
Mhm.
He randomly reached out to me honestly one day on Twitter like a while ago, and I like messaged him back, and I was just like engaging and seeing what it is that he wanted. He's like, hey, can you review my album on your channel and make a video for it and all that stuff and everything?
That'd
and
be
I was
cool.
just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And I mean, this was a while ago, so I did hear it. I did listen to it, and I did like review it and everything like that, and posted it on my channel, and I showed him. He like was like, oh, thanks, and now I still follow him, and I see him like getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, like
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff to me. I'm like, I thoroughly like to do. I'm like, each one teach one.
Mhm.
This person help this person. Like, hey, you review my stuff, and then I'll share it on my platforms and so on and so forth. But I mean, big artists and small artists alike. I mean, another thing I want to do, which of course takes a level of a different. I don't know exactly what I would need, but even interviewing upcoming artists, that's something I would love to do. To be quite honest, like I think that'd be like an interesting spin on things,
for
because
sure.
it's very easy to find like, for example, freaking an interview with freaking Soldier Boy, since we mentioned him, what I mean, like everywhere, but someone that's up and coming, and it's much harder for them to find their place, you know what I mean, like in the all these different platforms.
Mhm.
I feel like that's something that would be cool to do as well. Like I have a friend who makes music. I told him like, oh, I'm like, how do you promote yourself? Like, this is stuff like I like to get into. I mean, the equivalent to that would be like back to video gaming would be like indie developers. Where they have just a team of like 4 of them making a game.
Right.
It's like that kind of thing. Like, oh, how do you go about promoting your game, and like finding a publisher and like finding the funding to afford to do it and all that stuff, and how long did it take? It's similar. It's like indie musicians, indie video game developers, they kind of go hand in hand, honestly.
Mhm.
There's many similarities between all these different forms of media that we enjoy. There's just different genres.
Mhm. No, I think that's a great idea.
Nah, I never heard of Tommy Craze, King Baboon. He has a YouTube channel focused in rap. No, I haven't heard of that one. I might have to check them out. Like, there's a few other channels that I follow, and they're pretty freaking huge, so you can probably already like guess who they are. You know what I mean? But I haven't heard of that one yet, though. But I might check them out. I mostly watch like interviews, like artists. People who interview artists or review albums or react to albums and all that stuff. But that's the kind of stuff I like, pretty much. But yeah, it's this whole YouTube thing in general is it's a freaking whole different beast,
Mhm.
And then you gotta be so careful to not get copyright striked.
Right. That's
or
the
content
tough.
that you can.
I mean, it's tough in general, but like especially if you're dabbling with music at all. Like if you would be mostly just promoting independent musicians and like interviewing them and stuff, you'd probably be safe. Because
Oh
then you
yeah,
could just
because
challenge it and be like, "Look, guys, this isn't your song, Warner Chappell. Leave me alone."
oh yeah, man, like freaking like every freaking person that does videos that has like that kind of music, it's like you're gonna see Universal Music Group, UMG, or like Nintendo if it's like video game related,
Yeah.
or freaking Disney. It's like, those names are gonna pop up. It happened to me like on one of my older videos I did. Got a freaking whole bunch of content ID claims, and I was just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't make these kind of videos anymore. Then, if that's
It's a
the case,
deterrent.
like my
sure.
like my Legend of Zelda Let's Play, it was one of the first things I did on my channel, like ever. And I was just like, content ID claim, content ID claim, content ID claim.
70.
Like, I'm not even
the
having
same video.
I'm like, I'm not even getting views. Like, who is I learned that it's like automatic, you
Right.
know? Just like, oh,
But at the
they're giving me automatic ID claims, but there's not even people watching it. What's kind of the point of
Right.
that? Like, you know, I was like, this video has 50 views. I'm like, did you really need to do that? I don't think it, you know, is it even worth it?
No, but
Oh,
they
man,
seem to
YouTube
think so.
era. I miss the old days of YouTube before all the copyright strikes,
The
the
Wild
content ID
West of
claims.
YouTube, yeah.
Ooh, when I was like in high school. Oh man. Oh man, I know we can never go back to that, but
Right.
those are the best. All the parodies that were made,
Oh yeah.
all the musical parodies, all the lamb. Oh man, everything. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh, if only I could go
Keyword.
back to like 2010 YouTube and just not give up. Like if I just kept uploading videos. Like how that would have evolved.
Oh man. If I knew now what I knew then,
Right.
I would jump back like 10 years into the past and tell like my freaking 19-year-old self, like,
Yeah.
man, do this.
Yeah. It's like, dude.
Million subscribers. All right, cool. No
Yeah.
problem.
It's like,
Oh,
dude,
man.
I know you want to do this
Not,
wrestling thing, but like also do this YouTube thing. Don't stop.
Hell,
You don't
for
even know
real.
what's coming up. I stopped doing videos, come back to YouTube. It's like, oh, there was a Let's Play boom that I missed. Great. I'm glad.
Hell, that's what I feel like. It's crazy. NBA YoungBoy and Ali Chapo are what I jam to at times. I heard of those two artists. I never really listened to their music, to be honest, though. I mostly listen to like older artists, like honestly, like the late '80s, the mid and late '90s. You know, when I was like basically when I was growing up, when I was real young, or the early 2000s, like that whole time frame. Some more recent artists, a little bit, but not too much. But you know, I definitely heard of NBA YoungBoy. I've heard like something by him. But this is another thing. Like, it would be a way to give me a reason to really listen to newer people and whatnot. You know.
I mean, if it's a
That's a
passion
whole
of
nother
yours,
thing.
it's. I'm sure it'll work out.
Oh yeah, definitely a way to dive deeper into it, even more so, or a reason, I guess.
Like, it might be just one of those things. Like, you do the music stuff, and that could get popular, but you can still do like the gaming stuff for your own sake if you still want to, even if it, people watch it or they don't.
Oh, definitely. I mean, hell, I'm still playing them for every freaking day, so talking about them is always going to be like just what I do.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it comes to music, that's one of the most relatable things in general.
Big
even
time.
though it's going to be like different genres depending on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actual like feeling you get from music, that's something that's universal.
Oh yeah.
Like it either makes
like when you hear like a really sweet beat and it's
sad,
like, oh, that's
angry,
so good.
Makes you happy, makes you like want to dance. It's some feeling, but you can relate to it. Like, you know what I mean? If I put this song on, you're going to get the same feeling I am 9 out of 10 times. But on the game, you might not necessarily relate as much.
Right.
I feel like there's a whole different level there. You know,
like music is just like its magnitude larger.
Well, they're both huge, but I feel like strictly speaking on YouTube, I feel like gaming is the most overdone thing on there. Besides,
definitely.
Hell,
well, especially now, the barrier to entry is like, if you have a phone, you can, or just download like OBS. You can like play a game and upload to YouTube.
I'm trying to think what else is oversaturated on YouTube, like really bad. You know, like really heavily. I mean, like
gaming has to be like the most saturated. I couldn't imagine something's more saturated.
I mean, damn near the only other thing I can think of close is like a whole bunch of artists putting out their music. Like there's a lot of them, and like freaking what makeup tutorials maybe, I don't know,
Maybe
like
that's out of my realm.
like all that stuff. Mine too, but I see a lot of people trying to like do that same thing as well.
Oh yeah,
it's like a random bug flying around here, but yeah, freaking, you know. But hell, that reminds me of something I saw, like someone had shared like this, it was like an image from, I guess, like a chart or whatever that showed a breakdown of the average RPM or whatever, or CPM of like different topics on YouTube. Did you see it?
I did a long time ago. The only thing I remember about it is like finance related videos get like great CPM, and gaming is like pretty much at the bottom.
I'm trying to find it again, or find one like similar, because it was like nuts. Like gaming was at like the very lowest, along with something else, I forgot what. And yeah, finance was like at the freaking top on this damn list. And then right after that, it was like social media, like marketing or something. You know, it's just like,
I suppose this finance thing makes sense. I just didn't. I know nothing about finance. I'm not the guy to be making those kind of videos.
Well, it makes sense because, I mean, the ad companies want to market to people that actually have money.
Right, and you got to spend money to make money, so advertise to them.
Yeah. Advertise to people that are making videos on finance already, because, they might be more likely to actually make money and then become my customers, So it makes sense. Yeah, but stuff like stocks and investments and, all that stuff, finance in general seems like, personal finance, all that stuff seems like it's one of the top things, Hell, cryptocurrency and all that stuff. But yeah, like, depends on what the hell your niche is. Like, what are you an expert at? Turn that into something,
Right.
I gotta become a stock market. If I became a stock market expert, I don't think I would be like making videos on the stock market. I think I would just be like doing that,
diving into your pool of coins like Scrooge McDuck.
Basically, yeah. It's like, I hacked the freaking stock market and I'm pretty much good now. Okay, game the system. Tell everyone else how to? Nah, keep it to myself.
Well, I think what you do is like, okay, I got rich off the stock market. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this program where I teach you stuff about the stock market, but not like the really juicy stuff.
Yeah, it's like I keep that stuff to myself.
Is what I imagine is the game there. If you give away too many of your secrets, it'll cut into your own pie. So
very much so, very much so. Hell, real estate is another big one.
Oh yeah,
let's go flip houses. Nah,
really though. If I was halfway competent with like carpentry, I feel like just buy a house, fix it up yourself, flip it.
Oh yeah, I'm not technically.
I would never.
No,
but if you could,
I'm not skilled.
Yeah.
I'm not skilled with the dexterity or the physical strength, honestly, to be doing any of that stuff. Manual labor is like, I can't even fix like I can't fix a damn thing in a car. Like,
that's a good thing about YouTube, though. It's like, how to change a car battery. Okay. Take my laptop out to the car and let's do this. I've done that before.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's like,
I've had to do that too. Like how to fix a problem I had with a vehicle. Like once or twice I had to do that. But I mean, for like the major things, I don't think I'm going to even trust myself, even if I'm reading like a freaking guide. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'd rather just pay someone to get that fixed for me.
I wouldn't mind having a garage to like change my own oil and stuff, but like anything too labor intensive, I'd rather just pay someone.
No, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. Freaking. Do you follow the stock market? Yes, I mean, like, I'm no freaking expert. Like, I can't sit here and give you, like, a master class on it. But I definitely, like, follow certain aspects of it. I would like to get more expertise in that field, to say the least.
I hear you with that. I don't put enough time into learning about stocks and investments as I realistically should be.
I know I've never been the best with numbers. Like, even in school, that was not my thing.
Yeah.
Like, freaking hell. But if it comes to making money, unfortunately, we're kind of pushed into having to do that. So I feel like everybody, to a certain extent, kind of learns a little something. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't have to become experts, but, you got to know what you're doing.
I have a couple $100 tied up into crypto, but, like, it's either going to go to zero and I don't care, or I'll make money off of it, and, great if I do. But it's like, I had some spare money, like a few, pretty much when the crypto boom was starting to happen, it's like, okay, I'll invest a little bit here, here, and here, and then I just kind of left it. Because it's still kind of a pain in the arse to, like, cash out crypto.
Yeah, I heard about that. Crypto is this thing, it's just like, it's freaking, in the name, it's freaking cryptic. Like, who the hell fully understands it? You know what I mean?
And then I was, like, playing around with Ethereum and, like, trying to figure out gas prices and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I didn't give this enough gas, so I just wasted that money. Okay, cool.
It is freaking confusing, to say the least, honestly. But I feel like it's just what you got to take some time into, and some people just are naturally attuned to it more so than others. You know what I mean?
It's not really my thing, because, like, I mostly just left it, but I had, like, a little bit in Bitcoin, like, even less in Ethereum, and, like, a third one in a gambling cryptocurrency that I stumbled across, which isn't really doing much. But, like, right when Bitcoin was, like, starting to spike up, I'm like, okay, before it drops, I'm going to transfer some of my Bitcoin into, like, because, like, Bitcoin was at, like, I don't know, say, like, 20,000 at the time. So I'm like, okay, this is going to tank any minute now. So I'm going to take some of this and invest in the other crypto that I was doing that's at stream die.
Most people don't take the time, don't bother to take the time to do technical analysis with the charts. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the problem, but, it's really just not for everybody, though, Yeah. Some people are just not going to be, well suited to actually do that. And, that's okay. But if everybody was doing it, then what the hell do we need the experts for? You know what I mean?
Right. And, like, a lot of it's, like, compound interest and stuff, too. So, like, if you don't have a lot of money to start with, you're going to be a while getting some real traction.
Yeah, it takes money to make money, especially when it comes to that, because you have to have the money to invest, and then you got, take it out at the right time and know when the freaking, it's too much. Like, it'll just freaking, you could turn this into a whole stock podcast and freaking take hours just doing this if we actually knew what the hell we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But we are not.
Which, again, for the record, I don't know a damn thing about what I'm talking about when it comes to finances, so don't listen to me.
Yeah, disclaimer. We're experts when it comes to video games, but not finance, and especially not the stock market.
Yeah, especially not.
Not my forte whatsoever.
The closest thing to stock market experience I have is when I did a short video on the Wall Street Kid game on the NES, back when, like, people were short selling the GameStop stock. Did you even hear about that?
The GameStop. Wait. You talking about what happened a few months ago with GameStop?
Yes.
Oh, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't even understand. Like, still don't understand fully what was going on there. It's a freaking.
I read a few, like, explain to me like I'm 5 type of things about it. I still don't really get it, but it's, for some reason, you can, like, borrow. It's like you borrow stocks at a certain price, then you have to give them back at a certain price, and if you do it right, you make a profit. Otherwise, you owe money.
Yeah, I read something about that and all that stuff. You triple your money in GameStop stock.
Oh, nice, File.
That's what. saying GameStop stock is really freaking like a tongue twister for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
People just started calling them game stonks.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's like a meme. Like meme
Reddit.
stocks.
Reddit and Twitter were freaking blowing up
Oh yeah.
because of that stuff. I never bought it if I bought it at the right time and it sold it, I would have made quite a bit of money. But unfortunately, I was a little hesitant and didn't necessarily have that much money to really put into it to begin with. Once again, is the main problem.
Right.
So yeah,
It's like I'm gonna worry about groceries before I dump a hundo into a stock that I would expect to tank.
Yeah, it went from being like $5 or something like that to like 100 something, and then people were like,
yeah,
freaking like
all these billionaire hedge funds were having like heart attack.
Like, oh crap, we're losing money of our billions.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, but people that are making the money are like probably broke and able to feed their children now. So are you that upset, really?
Yes, they are. I think it's kind of like, as much as I hate to say like this saying, but it's kind of like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you think you're gonna outsmart the internet manipulating the market, we like the stock.
Oh no, definitely. It's freaking crazy. Like, I don't understand how people, I don't know. Stocks and the finances are once again still confusing, but
something else I read about that I probably should read more about, but it's like connected to this. I guess some other like billionaire people were trying to short. What were they trying to short sell? It was like stocks in. It was like either like it was short stocks in either like the U.S. dollar, or like U.S. gold or something. It was something to do with like. They were trying to short something to do that could collapse like the government. And it sounds like that could be all kinds of bad if it happened, but like I don't really understand it. It's over my head.
It's crazy. I don't even know. It just gets too ridiculous sometimes, honestly. I feel like, you know.
That whole debacle with the Robin Hood Act really left a bad taste in my mouth. Vile's getting into it. Like, that was dirty, I think. Like, from my zero knowledge in the field opinion. Because people are like, oh yeah, you can buy this stock. You can't take it out, though. Yeah, put money in. Oh, you want to cash out? Well, you can't. Or rather, you couldn't buy, but you could only sell.
Yeah, it's freaking nuts. Dirty. It's stupid. It's. I don't even know what to say. That stuff isn't even cool. You know what I mean? It's just billionaires making more money.
It's like, oh, if you only figured out the stock market, you could make money too. People figure it out. They're like, no, you're cheating.
I know. They're like, no, what? No, wait, no, we didn't mean that literally. I mean, you can't figure it out.
No, this is all rigged. Come on. We can't just say it's rigged, but we're going to clearly do things that prove it's rigged right in front of you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, I won't be able to buy like my 10th yacht.
Yeah, a gold-plated yacht.
Damn. You know what I mean? But hell, who knows, right?
Yeah. It was a laugh for a while though, because like I don't want to get political, but it was hilarious seeing people both on the left and the right be like, yeah, screw these billionaires. Go GameStop. Right? Just anytime people get united like that, it warms my heart.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, oh, they could put aside their differences.
Yeah.
Let's say, screw these rich people.
Oh, yeah,
for a minute.
It's the man we should be fighting with, not each other. Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, they actually noticed. Okay, cool. Like, damn.
I mean, it didn't last, but.
Unfortunately.
For that week or so.
I know, right? It's freaking crazy. I just don't understand it sometimes, but
yeah,
that's why our expertise lies in freaking video gaming.
Right.
Maybe one day we'll be rich, and then we're gonna be like, oh, okay, I understand it from like rich guy perspective.
Well, maybe we'll get to that point. Who knows?
God, it'd be freaking beautiful. I understand what those freaking hedge fund billionaires are talking about now.
I can't believe I was against that.
I know, right? Like, no, it's nuts.
You must crush people who think this way. I don't know why I was Russian
for a second.
We're gonna clash them. We're gonna clash the Americans.
Oh man,
If that's even right, I don't know.
it's close enough.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh man, dude, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, hell, this is just an example of like we talk about the video gaming and the music and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
Branching off into other topics and
yeah,
whatnot is like an occasional thing that
yeah,
why not?
yeah. Like I
Like
don't mind.
what do you guys think? Baboon, Vile, everybody. It's like, do other topics draw interest as well, or do you guys at least, of course?
I
You
think
know,
like since I may as well put in my 2 cents with that. Where like gaming, like we could just talk about gaming all day, every day. So it's a good way to just get the podcast started and get it rolling. But then I think if we get into other non-gaming topics, but have any sort of opinion on it whatsoever, I don't think it really hurts anything too much. Especially if we're talking about like GameStop stock, like it still like has that tie to gaming.
yeah. I mean, GameStop definitely did, and freaking Soldier Boy did with that whole Atari
Yeah,
thing. So it's like touching on like current events that also have a tie into gaming in
yeah,
some way. And
right.
even music, honestly, has such a strong tie
Oh yeah.
connection to gaming because, I mean, hell,
Oh, they're
like
synonymous.
hell, games that we mentioned, like The Legend of Zelda,
Uh huh.
Chrono Trigger. I think some of these or a lot of these games are known for the soundtrack.
Well, like
Mega
I
Man
was,
X,
well, like I was
one
just
of my
saying,
favorites.
talking to you earlier about the. For those of you in the chat that don't know about the fan game Mega Man X Corrupted, I just recently have been watching like demo footage of levels and stuff, and like the game looks difficult, but like whenever it's gonna be a long time coming out, but like the soundtrack in Mega Man X Corrupted is so good. Like if you like Mega Man X music, you have to, as soon as this podcast is done, go listen to Mega Man X Corrupted music. It's so good.
Nah, man. I mean, that's the one you said was a fan made game, right?
That's right.
I wonder where they. Well, I wonder if they got the music from,
I think they
because
just.
Mega Man X
I
has
think.
great soundtracks.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I think they just got like the sound font for it and just kind of did their own thing with it, but they got it down. It's. I can't even put into words like how much like I'm liking this music. It was better for me to like watch the gameplay footage and listen to the music with it, but now I've just been listening to 30-minute extended versions of songs in the game. I've been listening to, I think it was like Crystal Cavern, Crystal something's the one I've been listening to the most. There's one part where there's like the synthesizer guitar and it's just singing. It's like, oh, it's like I get chills just listening to it.
Oh man. Speaking of Mega Man and speaking of soundtracks, Mega Man X5. I think that's like the best freaking soundtrack for a Mega Man game, honestly.
X5.
Like you played X5 before, right? You beat it and
Oh yeah.
everything. Yeah. What do you think about the soundtrack? Because to me, that I think that's the best X soundtrack out of
Don't
1 through 8.
don't ask me why, but I don't remember it that well. I
Oh
beat it
man,
2, maybe 3 times, but like the most recent time I played X5 would have been whenever I played the X Legacy Collection.
dude,
I do remember some of the music.
most recently I played it like probably some months ago, I think, or something like that. But that's the best. I wish I could play it right now and not get like a freaking copyright strike,
Yeah.
because you gotta listen to it. Anyone that hasn't played Mega Man X5, you don't have to go play it. Just like go to YouTube and go look for the soundtrack and just listen to some of these tracks on there, because they found like a freaking perfect mix. 4 is also pretty good too. 6 is also, and the rest
I mean,
of them.
Mega
But 5,
Man music generally has bangers,
yeah,
just to
I could
varying
sit here and
degrees.
just be like jamming out, like, holy crap! I'm like, am I really listening to? Like when I find myself
Right.
listening to video game music, I'm always like, am I listening to video game music? But that happens whenever it's Zelda, Mega Man, or Sonic. Like they have the most iconic and classic soundtracks of any series. I feel like, at least like out of what I play.
Yeah.
There's without a doubt, especially freaking oh man, especially Mega Man X.
Oh yeah. Well, like I've just been playing through the Mega Man X games again. Now I'm like in the middle of X2. It's like, oh, that's like even just X1 and X2's music is great.
Hell yeah. And that's what draws you in. Like me playing it as a kid, as a child, I played Mega Man X 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever. And the music is always one of the main things that stuck out with me.
Yeah.
Best Sigma theme is Our Blood Boils. The first Sigma fight from X7. Ironically, oh wow, really?
That's too
X7,
bad.
I don't remember like damn near anything about. Like I never beat X7 or 8. I beat 1 through 6, but not those two.
I would recommend trying X8 again. Don't subject yourself to X7. Just don't.
I don't know why people disliked X7 so much, even more so than X8 though. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Well, they had like the 3D portions, which didn't really translate well, I didn't think. But like, I found the boss fights were just kind of long and drawn out, and you don't get to play as X until like halfway through the game. And...
Oh yeah. You play as Axo first, and then Zero and whatnot, and then they unlock X later. Yeah.
He's weak because you get him halfway through the game, so it's like, well, I'll just use Zero or Axel still.
Yeah, 7. I played that one as a kid too on the PS2, but I never finished it.
Good.
I was just like, no. And then 8, I played it. I don't remember how far I got, but I never finished that one either.
The first time on my channel I played X8, I raged pretty good, and I was sour on it. But then when I played through it again for the Legacy Collection, I'm like, no, this one's actually good. I think because the night before, I'm pretty sure I played through X7 in one sitting, and I was just so spent with it. So I think when I played X8 after, I was residually annoyed from X7, and it just kind of bled into my X8 experience.
I think it's great, but I mean, well, no, not X7. Like I would have to give it a
Mega Man game I love.
Oh hell
X7's the black sheep.
It is nuts. I want to play it. I feel like I might go play X7 and 8 again just to give them another try, just to go through them so I could say I finished every Mega Man X game, you know? But I feel like it would be...
I mean, if you have to for your own sake, I don't blame you, but like, I also wouldn't think any less of you if you're like, I'm not going to play X7.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. Also, I'd have to find...
Right.
Where.
Well, I mean, you can get the X, like the Legacy the X Legacy Collection 2.
I do have that. I don't know why I didn't play X7 and 8, but I have X Collection 1.
I know why I didn't play X7.
Yeah, I played X1 through 6, and then I kind of just stopped, even on the collection. I was just like, nah.
Hey, Coda. Well, I could see, like, even after X6 being a... Because the longer that I play X6... Like, growing up playing X6, I had no issues with it at all. It wasn't until I started streaming it, I'm like, I really don't like this game. Like, I just found it really frustrating.
Yeah, welcome to Kodo Dagami. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yes. And yeah, Vile, I do have Discord. I'm on there like all the freaking time, honestly. Yeah. So like that's the place to try to find me, honestly. Like I'm usually like in my server.
I can probably drop your Discord link in the chat if you give me a sec.
Freaking Mega Man X6. You didn't like... Some people didn't like it. It didn't get as much dislike and hate as 7 did, but I feel like after 7, 6 is the one people had a problem with. My problem with X6 was the boss fights mostly. Like, is that your problem with it, or is it something different?
I'm just posted your... I'm sorry, I kind of spaced out there. I was grabbing your Discord link. I was just putting it in the chat for Vile. X6, what was my problem with it?
Yeah.
It was more like... There were certain things about it that really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I think it was high max. Like, the way you have to damage him, I found was really, like, counterintuitive. Because you have to, like, hit him with a fully charged up buster shot and then, like, his weakness or something. Which I don't know how I ever figured that out as a kid.
The boss fights were the thing I didn't like. High max. And there was 2 or 3 other boss fights that I couldn't stand.
The gate fight with no ground.
Oh, yes, that was it. The whole last 3 boss fights, I think, like the whatever it was called, like those cells or whatever, and then like gate, high max. The boss fights were like mainly the thing I didn't like, honestly.
Yeah,
Like, and then of course how if you the nightmare crap where if you go to this stage after this one, this environment
Lights
would change. It was kind of interesting, but some of them were just annoying.
Right.
Like this one to make it dark, and this one to change this, and I'm just like,
it's like I don't mind them changing the levels and maybe making them more difficult, but like if you make it so I can't see what I'm doing, it's like that's not challenging. That's just cheap crap.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean? But no, I still like X6. It's just that I'd say X5 is slightly better, both soundtrack wise and gameplay wise. I feel like it was a little bit more balanced as well. You know,
I'm sure.
But in X6, you had to unlock freaking Zero. Like, what the hell?
And was it X6 where you need? Well, I guess you don't need the spike armor, but there's like this thing of spikes you have to climb. You can either use like the freeze ability to put like a snowball somewhere so you can like sort of makeshift climb up it, or you need like the guy armor.
You can toss the ice block down and then jump up on top of that and then use that as a stepping stone literally to get up higher, and then use the blade armor to do like the Mach dash or whatever it's called, the dash up and everything. Yeah, it was like, or use the shadow armor, and you can shadow armor that you go on the ceiling, so you could just avoid that basically.
Yeah.
And I think you didn't die from spikes or something. Yeah. Something like that.
That's the one I would generally use. There.
You know, you couldn't use special weapons with it at all.
Yeah.
That was the main problem with it. So fighting bosses with it or anything was just like, oh, it's a hassle. But no, X6 was good outside of like those things, which just basically comes back to the boss fights. And yeah, it did kind of seem rushed. I mean, even the story a little bit was kind of confusing. I'm like, where the hell did they get off with this stuff?
It came out like 9 months after X5, I want to say. Like, it was pretty quick.
It was like the beginning of the year and then the end of the year or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Some Mega Man games got made really fast, though. Like, Mega Man 7 was made in 3 months.
The hell? Really?
Yeah. Like, a lot of people don't like X7. I like X7 just fine. But, like, especially after I heard it was made in 3 months, I'm like, well, what do you expect?
X5 released in the US. It released February 01. And then X6 released December 01 in the US.
That's crazy.
I know, like it is pretty quick, you know. In Japan, it released like 2 months earlier, or something like that, or whatever.
Gotcha. But yeah, Vile, like I don't remember any of the music in X7 being particularly good. I think it's just because I mostly blocked the game out in my memory. But like maybe I do have to listen to that track again.
No, that song in particular, I'll check out. I gotta like freaking. I'm gonna go find it, pull it up, and like save the link so I can check it out afterwards. Our Blood Boil, what was it called?
Some like Blood Boils. Oh, Vile. I mean like Mega Man 7 for Super Nintendo. If X7 was made in 3 months, I would believe it.
Oh, Mega Man. Oh, I thought you were talking about X7 also.
No, sorry. Sorry about that. No, the Super Nintendo one.
Oh, I never played Mega Man 7. I have Mega Man Collection 1 and 2 and Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2.
Okay.
But I never played Mega Man 7.
Gotcha.
I gotta try it because I like Mega Man 8. That was one of my favorite Mega Man games also.
I like 7. That's kind of like a hot take. Like most people don't care much for 7. And I get some of the issues like the screen crunch because they're like, okay, we have 16 bits. We're going to make Mega Man big so you can see all the detail and stuff. But it was just like, I found with 8, they kind of struck a good balance between like graphical fidelity and like sprite size. 7, it was a little screen crunchy, but like I love the music, and Mega Man 7 has like some of my favorite Mega Man music. Something about Mega Man 7's music just brings me back to my childhood every time I hear it. It's just classic mid-90s Capcom music.
I just went and found that song he was talking about and posted it in my Discord server, so I freaking have the link to check it out later.
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure it sounds pretty cool considering it's freaking Mega Man X freaking soundtracks in general. You know what I mean? Like when do they not?
Right.
I gotta play Mega Man 7. I have the Mega Man Collection 1 and 2. I gotta see if I have it digitally or no. I have that digitally, I believe.
I gotta say though, like, as much as I love Mega Man music, I found Mega Man 11 soundtrack fell kind of flat. There's 1, maybe 2 songs. I'm like, yeah, this is a good song. The rest of it is just forgettable to me. I don't know why. Like it's at first I thought like, well, it's not like the NES like chiptune sounds, but it's like, no, I love Mega Man 7's music, and 8's music is also really good. So it's not that.
Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 combo pack. I gotta actually click download and download them like back onto my console. But I kind of do want to play Mega Man 7.
Yeah,
I never got a chance to do it.
Only take. Well, I mean, it depends how much trouble you have with it, but if you don't die too much, you could beat it in a day for sure.
Was it similar to Mega Man 8? But I definitely remember playing that one a few times.
I don't know if saying that would be accurate. Like, it is in the sense that there's 4 bosses that you can fight at the start rather than 8. So, like, there's that's similar, but otherwise, I wouldn't really compare them.
Oh. Okay, because those two, I feel like, well, it's the one right afterwards. So I don't know how freaking close or similar that was.
7 and 8 would be more alike than any of the NES ones. But I feel like they're kind of their own animals.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever played any of the Mega Man Zero games?
Every single one.
Oh, right on.
I played every Mega Man Zero. I played almost every main Mega Man game, except for like Mega Man's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like the original Mega Man. Because I wasn't even
like you got into it with X.
Yeah, the first game I played was Mega Man X1 and 2,
Nice.
and then Mega Man 8, and then Mega Man X4, 5, 6, 7.
Well,
8.
I mean, it was on PlayStation, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Whatever.
I was laughing at first, but it's like, no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because Super Nintendo was like one of the first consoles I ever played. So when everyone's came on Super Nintendo and then PlayStation are the ones I played, basically.
You ever play Mega Man Soccer?
I feel like I have, actually. Like, I've played a lot of Mega Man games. Like, seriously.
It's worth a giggle. Like, it's nothing to write home about, but it's fun to mess around with for a bit.
No, it
Just
definitely.
for the novelty of it.
I feel like I did. I really do. But also, I mean, I keep in mind, Mega Man 7, no, not Mega Man 7. Mega Man Zero, rather, you mentioned. Yeah, I did play 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the Game Boy Advance or whatever. I think I beat like all 4 of them, actually.
Cool.
And then they made, what was after?
ZX.
ZX was the one, the series right afterwards, right?
Yeah. ZX, then ZX Advent.
There was 2 of those, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I played both of those as well. And Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 5. I don't know if I ever played 6. I don't really remember it.
It
all blends
Same
together.
case for me. I think I played Mega Man Battle Network. Which one did I play first? I want to say 3. Then like 2, then 1. Then I played like a bit of 4, and I might have played 5. But I only beat 2? Maybe 3? I didn't beat a ton of them. I couldn't imagine trying to like binge through all the Battle Network games in a row. I think that would be a bit much. But to play like 1 or 2 of them at a time, I think would be all right.
I don't know how, but I played 1, I had it, and then I went straight from 1 to 3. I guess as a kid, I didn't really know that there was that like 2 came out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really like a stickler for like having to play everything in order like I am now.
Right.
So I just went straight to 3 and played that. So it was like story-wise, it was freaking confusing. Because all that stuff that happened in 2, I had no clue about until years later. Like, I just played 1, 3, 4, 5. And I think I had to go back later on and play 2. I think I did play it later on afterwards. So it was pretty out of order for me. But they were all pretty freaking good. I even played the one for GameCube.
Network Transmission.
Yeah, that one was all right. I think it didn't really get too much love. I forgot why, though. It was either because of the story or the combat, something people didn't like about it.
That was another one of those situations where when I played it growing up, had no problem with it. But then when I streamed it, I can't even remember what rubbed me the wrong way about it. But something about it really didn't appeal to me. Like, I just did the one stream of it, and I'm like, I'm not playing this again.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know how long of a difference it was, but did you play it like when you got older and maybe it was just like you didn't just feel the same? Because I played it, I was like...
It could very well be the case. I probably played it in, I probably wasn't even 20 when I played it the first time.
Yeah, I might have been like 11. something like freaking.
I think it's the
It was
way
like released in 02 or 03 or something.
something
I remember
like that.
it
It was on GameCube, so it would have been somewhere
right
between like
around that
02
time.
and yeah. But like, I think it was just the way that either like the chip system or like the upgrade system would. I just wasn't having it when I played it. Maybe if I were to try it again, I might. Now that I've been torturing myself with Mega Man, if I go
Yes,
back to it, I might feel
03.
better about it. But,
March 03 at least apparently. So
Okay.
yeah, I was like freaking middle school playing that game. I never played it again after that like initial playthrough. I feel
Yeah.
like though, but it was alright though.
Oddly, there's also I forget what it's called, but it's basically network transmission, but it was on the Wonder Swan.
What the
And
hell?
I did which is like, for those that don't know, the Wonder Swan is like a handheld that was in Japan that we never got. But it has some okay stuff on it. And that Mega Man game, that Battle Network-y type of game, was actually pretty good.
Okay. The Wonder Swan. That's mad wild.
I wish we got it. It seemed like kind of a discount Game Boy, but it also like had some... It had like Final Fantasy ports on it and stuff. Like it had some legit stuff on it. Mega Man and Base 2 was on it.
Oh wow. I never played Mega Man. How is Mega Man?
Oh my god. Mega Man and Base. If you're... I would that would be one of the... If you're ever to binge classic Mega Man games, play Mega Man and Base last. It's the hardest one.
Oh really? It's harder?
Oh yeah. There's no energy
I
tanks.
never played it. I never played it.
It's challenging for sure.
Did you ever play like what was it called? Mega Man Combat Fighters or Power Fighters?
Oh, Power Fighters, yes, because
the
I had...
like 1-on-1 fighter or whatever it was?
Yes, because I had the Mega Man Anniversary Collection for, I think, PS2. And if
that's it. It came on Anniversary Collection.
Yeah, and if you beat... I think if you either played all of them or beat all of them, it would unlock the Power Fighters. Power Battle games.
I don't remember if you had to... I mean, I don't know how you unlocked it, but I do remember... I think I rented that game. Like, it was on the PS2. Yeah, I rented that game, and I was playing like the Mega Man games again, and I played Power Fighter, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But I was like, this is the only way. Like, I grew up, and I was like, I want to play it again. And I'm like, wait, the only way I can play it is by, like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like a 1-on-1 fighter, like with Mega Man characters, and I was like, all right, it's interesting. I'll try it.
And then also, if you have the Mega Man X collection for GameCube or PS2, that has Rockman Battle and Chase, which is like their kart racer.
The kart. Yeah, like the racing game. Yeah, I know. I don't think I played that one though.
I didn't play it a ton. I don't know how much enjoyment I would get out of it today, but it'd probably be worth a larfing some afternoon streaming it. But like,
for real, man, that's crazy, you know. But I don't know. So many Mega Man is like one of those series like Mario where they branched off into everything damn near, you know, just to get more sales and to branch out into different genres and whatnot. You know, I don't blame them.
Oh yeah, they went all over the place.
Mega Man Legends, Mega Man Battle Network. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mega Man Zero. They had everything except a freaking FPS, basically. You know?
Yeah, and they were going to, but then it got canceled. There's going to basically be Metroid Prime, but with Mega Man.
Oh wow! I don't think I heard about that.
There's a trailer of that. It looks like It looks really. How do I? Like not visually dark, but it was more like not. It wasn't like anime at all. It was like more of a. It was more serious, I guess. Is the best way to put it.
Oh really?
But it's going to be like first-person Mega Man, like Metroid Prime style game.
Wow, I'm really surprised. I don't think I even heard about it. What was it even being developed for?
I'm not even sure.
That's
I think crazy. It was back when, like, it seemed at some certain point Capcom was just had a hate on for like Inafune, because they're like, all right, we're gonna cancel what was basically Mega Man Maker before Mario Maker was the thing. So that could have been Capcom's, but they canceled it. Called Mega Man Universe.
Oh wow, really?
There's that first-person shooter. There's a few other games that, well, Legends 3 is probably the most notorious one.
Oh man, Mega Man Legends is one of my favorite. Like Mega Man Legends 1 and 2, favorite freaking games. Seriously, on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, and the Mega Man Online game. I forgot about that one.
That too. Wow, a freaking Mega Man MMO. That's nuts.
Yeah, and then they like just released stateside that mobile game, Mega Man X Dive, which I need to look at, see if it's actually any good.
I never tried it either. I mean, I'd never heard about it until you mentioned it. I was like, a Mega Man mobile game. Even now, they're going everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Like I imagine it's got like gotcha stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, it probably
really.
does. You know, that's
but it's just a matter of like, well, how gotcha-y is it? Like, is it playable without spending money? Because some games are like they want you to spend all kinds of money, but if you just refuse, might still be playable. I'm just gonna spend more time and whatever.
yeah, for real. That too.
The Maverick
But,
Hunter. Vile saying. Metroid Prime Mega Man X game is supposed to be a reboot called the Maverick Hunter.
They did reboot the series. Like they made a remake. Wasn't the remake called Maverick Hunter or
There
something
was
like that?
like the one on PSP.
Yes, the PSP version.
Because there was Mega Man Powered Up, which was like the Mega Man 1 remake, and then there's the Mega Man X remake, which
Yeah,
I
the
think
Mega Man
we're
X
talking
remake.
about.
Yeah,
Whatever
the
that
Mega Man
was
X
called.
remake. I think it was called Maverick Hunter X or something. Damn, I gotta check that up actually.
I've never actually played either of those ones. Eventually I should. Oddly enough, Mega
Well-
Man Powered Up has like a level creator in it
Really?
for whatever reason. Not upset that it's there, but it's just weird how they just kind of snuck it in that game when had they just released that as its own thing, it might have caught wildfire. Considering how crazy Mario Maker did.
Yeah, it's called Mega Man Maverick Hunter X.
Yeah.
That was the remake for the PSP. It had like the improved graphics
Yeah.
and some other changes or whatever to it, as well as the
Can actually
what was it?
can actually play as Vile.
They had
on
like
that
a
one.
yeah, like a whole. Oh yeah, that's the one that plays Vile, right?
Yeah.
If you beat the game as you beat the initial game, then you unlock another playthrough and you can play as Vile and like you have to fight like the bosses yourself and Sigma, I think, or something like that, or X or something weird like that, basically. And also it had the it had like that whole new anime like cutscene thing in there. Like
Oh yeah.
I remember that a little bit more detail in the story
Return
and
of
whatnot.
Sigma or something. Like it was like a
Yeah,
straight up anime short. Well, not a short. It was like half-hour long.
yeah, basically.
That
It was like a whole
in
introduction, basically.
One of the Mega Man X Legacy collections, Day of Sigma
Really?
or whatever it was called. I definitely watched
Day of
that.
Sigma, that's it.
Yeah, I definitely
I watched it
that
when
on
I
my
played it.
channel.
On the PSP, I remember watching it.
Yeah.
When I played the game, rather. I was like, oh, this is cool. That's nuts, though. Man, they need to make another Mega Man. Where are Mega Man games? Like, what is even the last one they made?
11.
Like,
Well, unless you count the mobile game, 11 in 2018.
yeah.
Which
11.
We're overdue for sure.
I want something like X, though, or Zero,
Agreed.
or something, you know what I mean?
Mega Man X Corrupted will come out before we get like a Mega Man X9 or whatever.
That's the fan game, right?
Yep.
That's crazy. That'd be funny if it does, though, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised. There's no excuse for them to have not released a Mega Man X9 by now. I figured when 11 came out, because Mega Man 11 was like positive reviews. I really liked it.
I doubt they're making another Mega Man X game. I'm surprised they even made Mega Man 10 and 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Because, I mean, the original creator or whatever isn't even involved. I'm like,
Right.
at this point...
Well, I'm convinced they only
make a whole
made
new series of
Mega Man 11 because they're like, oh, you wanted to make Mighty Number 9 and you failed? Well, we're going to make a good Mega Man game. Because we hate you, Inafune. I don't know what you did to us, but we hate you.
Well, didn't Mighty Number 9 come out before Mega Man? Well...
Oh, yeah. For Mega Man 11, big time. And then
Didn't
Mega
it come
Man
out-
11 came out sometime after.
I thought it
Years
came out
ago.
before even Mega Man 10 came out.
No, definitely not. Mega
Oh.
Man 10 came out in 2010.
Okay, then never mind. It came out before Mega Man 11. I thought I thought 10 came out more recently than that. I didn't know it was 2010.
I mean, all things considered, it's like for Mega Man, it's recent, but like it's still a 10-year-old game now.
Oh yeah, like, geez, it's been a long freaking time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Mega Man 8 was 96, 97? Or something like that?
It was the 10-year anniversary, so yeah, 97, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like 90, yeah, I think that's a long. So in between then, they only made 9 and 10. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like I kind of get it at the time because they 6 for the NES, then they made 7 and 8, then they kind of struck new life with the X series. So they kind of carried that along, and they're like, okay, classic series, you can retire because 8 games came out in 10 years, and people were kind of like, okay, we get it.
They went from X to ZX, and then from ZX they went to. I mean, they also made Battle Network separately from that.
Right.
Also, they made a lot of Game Boy Advance games between those, and then they even had, remember, like they had the 2 or 3 games they had for the Game Boy Color also before the Game Boy Advance games.
They have the Mega Man series
Extreme.
on Game Boy. There's 5 of them.
And they have Mega Man Extreme, I think it's called. Like
yes, 1 and 2.
Yeah. A lot of freaking Mega Man games. Is a little bit too much, honestly.
Mega Man 5 for Game Boy is actually not bad. Like, it's actually its own self-contained thing. Because, like, Mega Man 1 to 4 on Game Boy are kind of like amalgamations of the NES games. 5 has its own Robot Masters.
Cool. I never played any of the Game Boy. I never played any of those.
I would recommend trying 5 if you were to try any of the Game Boy ones. But, like, if you don't, I don't think you're, like, missing out, like, big league. But if you're hankering for, like, a new Mega Man experience, I would say Mega Man 5 for Game Boy.
So it's for the Game Boy or the Game Boy Color? Like,
maybe Game Boy Color. I'm not entirely sure, actually.
I know the difference. I mean, the main difference is just freaking the Game Boy Color and the freaking color. And that's about it. But,
X series is definitely like blows the classic Mega Man story out of the water, and the fighting is just so much more fast paced, and you can do more because you can climb the walls and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like the expanse into exploration. You know, even though it's like a 2D side scroller, still it's a bit more. You know, I really like it. But that was my first one. Is Mega Man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good.
Like I played Mega Man X and then 2 and X2 and then 8. So it was different for me.
Yeah, how was that like going from like the X series to playing Mega Man 8? Like I guess it's not like you would have been burned out by classic.
I was like, since I was like 5, it didn't really make a difference to me. You know what I mean?
I didn't realize you've been playing.
I was like 5 years old.
That young, okay.
Yeah, I played Mega Man X1 like for the Super Nintendo. So yeah, I was around 5 or 6 around there.
Gotcha.
And then X2, and then somehow I skipped X3 and like played X4, and that was for the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. But also at that time, then I played X4 and I played Mega Man 8 around the same time. Basically, like the same year, probably.
I like 8, minus the jump, slide sections. I think if they didn't have jump, slide, people would have liked 8 a lot more. At least the people that don't hate the voice acting. Oh my god, the voice acting.
Oh, that crap was annoying. Jump, slide. Like, freaking stop. That was probably my least favorite part in that damn freaking game.
It's pretty universal. Opinion, I find. I don't really come across too many people who are like, oh, I love the jump, slide sections. Because I'm pretty sure they're all locked up in a mental hospital.
Besides the fact that the voice was kind of irritating, it's also the fact that people died way too many damn times doing that. Like, seriously.
Oh, yeah. The voice acting in that game in general, legendary.
I'm like, why do you sound like a prepubescent boy? Like, but alright, I guess.
Capcom was on fire with their awful voice acting in like PlayStation era.
Oh yes, they definitely freaking were between Resident Evil 1 and Mega Man 8.
Yeah.
Mega Man X4.
What am I fighting for?
Oh my god, what am I fighting for? Oh my god. Or freaking Resident Evil.
Oh, Resident.
You were on Joe sandwich. Oh, the freaking hell!
I hope this isn't
Oh my
Chris's blood. Wait! Don't open that door. Oh my god. Epic.
Oh my god! Yes. Looking back on it, it's just freaking hilarious now. Like at the time, you know, as a kid, I didn't really think about it too much. But like 10, 15 years later, or whatever, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I see it now.
It was hilarious to me then.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to me now. But I would have been, I don't know, 11 or 12, I guess, when I played Resident Evil. First time. Even then, it was like, this is hilariously bad voice acting. I love it.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know what it is about bad voice acting that tickles, because some people, like, it hurts them. Me, I just makes me giddy.
Oh,
I love it.
For example, make Sonic Adventure 1.
I don't know.
That's
if I've
another
heard the
one
voice
known for
acting
voice
in that.
acting. That's
Maybe I
another
need-
one known for his voice acting with Sonic, and even the lip syncing on that wasn't really too good. Like the way they did all that stuff. I'm like,
Because if that has bad
yeah.
voice acting, maybe I need to be playing Sonic Adventure 1.
Definitely. Like, freaking hell. It's a classic game, though. I still love Sonic Adventure 1, like, freaking so much.
Historically, I'm not much of a Sonic fan.
Oh,
Like-
really?
Yeah, like I try. Granted, I haven't tried lately, but when there was the Sonic Mega Collection for, I think, GameCube, I played it. The only game on the collection I liked was Sonic Spinball.
Wow.
It just... They just rubbed
Sonic's
me,
another
just
one of
rubbed
the
me the
first
wrong way.
games I ever played before. I think it was Sonic the Hedgehog, like, 1. I played on, like, the Sega Genesis or whatever the hell, whichever
Yeah.
one it was.
I think I just
I
kind
was
of...
4 years old, probably.
I think I approached him with the wrong mindset, because I'm like, okay, Sonic the Hedgehog, fastest thing alive. I gotta go through these levels fast. Wait, I have to cross these platforms and now go underwater, and... Whereas,
yeah.
like, where it's more the idea is you play the game normally, then once you know it inside and out, then you run through it and do, like, play it the way that I envision it being played. But, like, when I played it, that wasn't the mindset I went into it, so I'm like, oh, I can't just speed through the levels, so, next.
I feel like as a kid, it was different. I feel like I had more patience for this kind of like mindless running through stages. You know, no real dialogue, just run. Oh, die. Let me try again, and then really trying to like get better at it and whatnot. You know, because freaking hell, I really liked Sonic, and then after Sonic Adventure or Sonic Hedgehog, I played Sonic Adventure. That was like the next Sonic game I played. And that was for the Dreamcast. That was like the first 3D one. That was amazing. That was 1999, 2000, I think. I got it for like freaking Christmas. I still remember that.
Okay.
I was like hyped as hell for that, reading it in my freaking game magazines. You know, like, oh my god, Sonic Adventure, you know,
Yeah.
freaking loved it.
What makes me sad is how I think it was on the DS. There was a Sonic RPG, but I guess it's awful.
Oh
Like
wow,
turn-based Sonic RPG.
Yeah, our past. This whole thing is supposed to be speed, not freaking taking turns. So that's kind of weird to me.
Well, like for me personally, it's like okay, like you know, give me a turn-based RPG. I'm probably a happy camper, but I guess it was just really not good. Like it was just even if it wasn't Sonic characters, it just wasn't good. I forget why, but I watched a review years ago. But I don't know. Maybe I'd play it and enjoy it. Who knows?
Possibly. But hell, freaking
It's hard for me to find an RPG I don't like other than Wild Arms.
I think I played one Wild Arm games. I don't remember which one, but if that's the series I'm thinking about, I played one of them.
Maybe.
I used to run a lot of games growing up, so I've dabbled and dabbled in a lot more, honestly, than
It's really Western themed.
Yeah. I played one of those.
I played
for the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2, I think.
Well, 1 and 2 were on PlayStation 1. Wild Arms 3, and I think a remake of the first one might have been on PS2.
Then I played Part 3 then. That was the one I played, because I know it was on the PS2. I played it when I was real young.
Because I played 1. I gave it my best shot, but I didn't like it. And more recently, a streamer buddy of mine is streaming it. So I've been like lurking in his streams. I still don't like it. Music's good. It's got good music. I have no desire to play it. I thought like, well, it's been so many years, maybe I'll like it. No, I still don't like it. It just does not appeal to me. Wild Arms 2, on the other hand, I think I could force myself to play through because I enjoyed it back in the day when I played it. I just hit a point where I got stuck and couldn't figure out what to do. Then I consulted the internet and still couldn't figure out what to do. So I'm like, fine, guess I'll play something else. Then I finally tried 3 and played that for like an hour and didn't like it. And I'm like, okay, I give up on the series.
No, I need to. There's so many JRPGs. I feel like I've played so many, but I still just don't have.
Well, I mean, you're gonna miss some here and there.
Oh no, definitely.
Like Chrono Trigger. Like you can't play them all.
That's for certain.
And like I haven't played very much of the Tales series. Like not as much of it as I would like. And Star Ocean, for that matter.
Tales of Arise. If you're talking about Tales of Arise comes out, I think, next month. I downloaded a demo. I still have to play it. The demo came out recently.
Yeah, I heard about that. But like I haven't been playing them, so I didn't play the demo, but I'm sure I'd like the one Tales of Destiny 2 I really liked for PS1. Tales of Legendia I liked, although I found it overstayed its welcome a little bit personally. And then I played Tales of Symphonia, but I moved during my playthrough, so I stopped playing it. So like I would like them, but never really played them.
Oh no, yeah, man. Hell, JRPGs. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, and we could talk about them all freaking day. To the point where it's been over freaking 2 hours already. Like, holy freaking crap! Time
I don't
flies.
know how we keep doing that.
I don't know.
It's been like, we'll stream for like an hour. Then it's like 2.5 hours later. It's like, oh.
I'm sitting here sweating like crazy because I don't have my AC on. So hopefully, the noise is like non-existent.
Yeah, we're kind of curious to see how we tinkered with some audio settings. So we're curious to see how much better the audio is this time around, if it's even perceivable. But it should be. We'll find out.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm freaking curious. Like, also, I mean, I'm sure it goes without saying, but we do freaking welcome feedback in regards to how the audio sounds.
Oh, of course.
That's something we would love to freaking improve on if there's any issues with it.
Right.
I mean, and visually as well, you know.
Yeah.
Striving to improve is something that we definitely don't turn away from or, shy away from.
We're kind of looking at ways to sort of start piecemealing some stuff together for the overall like production value and everything. So.
Yeah, just like we mentioned about the topics, like, it's okay to like occasionally branch off into like other ones, and even better if we can come back and relate it and tie it all in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that just makes it all more freaking better. But hell, like, we're about to be out of here in a minute, guys.
Yeah. I mean, with how tired I was when I started, I'm kind of surprised that I had as much to say as I did and didn't try to be like, I gotta go to sleep. Like, it's more like, I'm tired, but it's more, I have a headache rather than I need to go to sleep.
Yeah. And for me, I have to freaking, like, get out of having a freaking sitting here under a lamp, like, trying not to melt.
Yeah. Well, don't melt.
Oh, no, definitely. I need to come back. But yeah, freaking. So, what do you have coming up next in regards to your videos and or your streaming?
What, as far as my short videos are concerned, speaking of Mega Man, I've been doing. I had already done like the classic series from 1 to 11. I just started doing Mega Man X short videos with fighting the Robot Masters with the Guitar Hero controller without getting hit with the Buster, which. I was surprised because I thought, like, when I started doing the Mega Man X ones, I thought, okay, I can probably do Chill Penguin and, like, maybe one other one. But it's much faster paced. I can't see this working out well. But because there's a dash button rather than me having to push down to dash, I'm finding it easier than, or I shouldn't say easier, less frustrating than the classic series, because like so many times, because I'm using the controller at like an angle, I'll go to push down, but I don't, and I'll like jump into a Robot Master or something. That's not happening so much. That, and I've just been putting in, like, for these X ones more, I've been trying to make more jokes and, like, put in, like, visual gags and stuff. I've been having more fun with the editing process. But that's what I got going on for short videos. Sunday, I plan on picking up Nier Automata again and doing the hard mode. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Nier Automata is my favorite modern game. So,
Really?
Pretty excited to circle back around to it again, especially after playing through Nier Gestalt and Nier Replicant. Now that I have now that the scene's been set, playing Automata again, I'm gonna pick up a lot more.
Oh no, definitely. I have Nier Replicant to still play too. I'm gonna get around to that after I finish another game or two. Still,
Oh yeah, you'll get to it.
Surely,
you'll get to it when you get to it. So what do you have?
It's sitting in my closet, ready and waiting.
Good stuff. So what do you have going on? Are you still... Well, I guess you're still kind of doing your thing. You're not really uploading a ton.
Pretty much, But like I said, probably the beginning of next month, I'm hoping to start posting videos like more regularly again, because I know I haven't done so since like probably the beginning of last month.
But like you've still been streaming a bit, right?
I've still been streaming. I started streaming again like the past week or two.
Right.
So I'm finishing up Scarlet Nexus now. I'm gonna be done with that pretty soon in the next week or two, probably.
That's over on Twitch, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna finish up Mass Effect 3 from the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, since I streamed all through 1, streamed all the way through 2, and I paused it to stream Scarlet Nexus since that was a new game. So once I'm done with Scarlet Nexus, it's back to picking up Mass Effect 3 and finishing that, streaming that as well on Twitch. And then, of course, afterwards, I'm not sure what game I'm going to be streaming. It might be Nier Replicant. It might be something else. It depends on what time I finish these two games at.
I'm hoping
then I'll have a better idea.
That you'll pick up Nier Replicant, just because I just want to... I'm curious what your opinion on it's going to be.
Oh, definitely. I don't know if I'm going to stream it, but I definitely am going to play it pretty soon. Just trying to get rid of these freaking games that I have to finish still as well. And then, of course, like I said, as far as the videos go, hopefully next month, I'll start posting again on a pretty regular basis. Just got to see exactly,
Yeah,
what direction.
Yeah.
King Baboon, at the exact moment.
Enigma, he does stream over on Twitch at Enigmatic Entertainment on Twitch, correct?
Yes, indeed. I stream on Twitch. Like, my schedule is typically Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights, Eastern Standard Time. But occasionally I'll stream on YouTube, not really too much. I typically just post my videos there and not really like my live streams and whatnot. But, to follow me, make sure you have everything. Follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. So whenever I go live on either one, of course, it's Enigmatic Entertainment on both. Same thing as Twitter, same thing as Instagram, and basically dang near anywhere.
Devour it in,
and then, of course,
a single take.
My second YouTube channel.
3 versus 4. They don't
Enigma's
really have
Nerd
that
Talk,
many utilities to
I haven't
really
posted a little bit. I haven't posted too much recently, but that's usually where I post
help it. Spike,
more
though,
like
is getting
in-depth
planted
things,
down now. They don't really have time to rotate
top 10
anywhere.
Games of all time for the PlayStation, various different consoles. I've already done my top 10 list for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 1, Game Boy Advance. Damn, what's that other console? What's it freaking called?
Just dropping your Twitch link in the chat as per request from King Baboon.
What was that other console that I finished already? Yeah, I stream on Twitch. And they're all linked together. Like, if you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see the link for my Twitch. And if you go on Twitch, you'll see the link for my YouTube channel. If you go on freaking Twitter, you'll see the link for YouTube. They're all linked together. So as long as you can find one, then you can pretty much find all the rest. And click the subscribe to follow, the typical stuff that every freaking YouTuber and Twitch streamer will say.
Yeah.
It's cliche at this point, but it is important.
But
I mean, hell.
you know, you don't want to be the one where people are like, oh, it's such a relief that this person's not asking me to subscribe, so I won't.
I know, right?
No. You still subscribe to me. I'm just not going to beg you for it.
It's like, he didn't ask, but if only you asked, I would have done it. Yeah. It's like, oh, no. But no, I mean, hell. And speaking of which, 2 of my most recent videos that I did post are, speaking on this Twitch and streaming topic and YouTube streaming and posting videos.
Mm-hmm.
I posted videos about, some of the best ways to help support smaller content creators on Twitch and on YouTube and really in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because, smaller channels like ours, it's harder to reach a more wide audience and to really have that growth and to get our content more widespread.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes as a viewer or a listener on the other side, sometimes you don't always know how to best help them or support them to help them grow. So I made videos talking about that stuff in particular. And if you just go to my channel, you'll see it right there. Like, best ways to support content creators.
Right.
Stuff like that is, I feel like, very important because a lot of people, I feel like, don't talk about it, especially from the aspect of a small content creator.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see some people talk about it when they already have like millions of subscribers, and they're like, I've been doing this for 30 years. This is what you should do. And then it's just like, I have millions of subscribers. It's like, no, I'm coming from the aspect of, a small content creator myself. So I know currently what it is and how to help support others, whether that's, remembering to follow them, subscribe, share the stuff, all the basic stuff, and some of the other things that people that are only casual or, novice listeners or viewers, or, if you're just new to the internet, it's basically just steps on what you should take to help support your favorite YouTube creator. Like, some people that watched the video told me, like, even friends, like, oh, I didn't even know, like, I can do this for a YouTube channel, or I didn't even know, like, this would be helpful if I tried this. Or for their Twitch streams, so it's basically a lesson or a learning experience for everybody. And
I mean, this stuff helps a lot, especially for, like, smaller creators. Because the smaller the creator, per user, the smaller the creator, each action the user does to assist that creator is even more impactful.
Yeah, exactly. It makes more of an effect on their channel the more people, because they're smaller, so they don't have because you can't rely on, like, I said it in the video, but like sponsorships and ad revenue only.
An algorithm's not going to push you.
Yeah, and algorithms to push you like heavily. So it's definitely important to, do stuff like this. One of the main things is to actually be live when they're live streaming, to interact with them. You know what I mean? Ask them questions, give them constructive criticism, whatever it is. Like, a few times I've been streaming and I'm like, oh, my mic was muted, or oh, I had to turn down the sound, or oh, I had to up it a little bit, or oh, I had to move this out of the way, or whatever, that I just didn't notice or hear myself. But then there was like that one lonely viewer at the time who was like, hey, yeah, did you notice this? And I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Like, you freaking helped me remember or to learn something else that I should have been doing, So,
Oh, yeah, if I had $1 for every time I started a stream and I'm muted, and someone's like, Harv, you're muted. It's like...
yeah, it's just like, oh, duh, like, what the hell? I forgot about that. Thanks, guys. But yeah, like I said, just follow, channel, support. Follow pretty much the more places you follow and subscribe on that are available, freaking even better, to be quite honest. Like, that's just as blunt as it pretty much gets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's really simple. It's really that simple, basically.
All right.
Oh, top 10 PlayStation Vita games. That's the other one. And top 10 Nintendo 64 games. So if you want to know what kind of freaking games are my favorite by console, check out my second YouTube channel. Once again, Enigma's Nerd Talk, a.k.a. ENT, where I break down all my favorite freaking games by console. And I also delve into some of my favorite anime as well. And I'm going to jump back onto working on that channel as well. Because I know people love top 10 lists.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5s and
big time.
all that stuff.
Oh, YouTube is all about the lists.
Hell,
something I should look into more personally. I'm not sure if I've ever actually done a top 10.
It's kind of fun. It's a little time consuming with editing. but it is fun to like sit down and really think about, like, you know, it's different. Like which ones are my favorite? I found some games that I haven't played in a long time, like I just completely forgot about because it's been so many years. But I was like, I remember how I felt at that time. It's on the list.
Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to get the taste for video editing, so maybe now's the time to play around with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure. Go for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's pretty much coming up for me.
Yeah, and that's pretty well what I'm doing, just the Nier Automata and the Mega Man X stuff for the foreseeable future. And Gonzal, listen to that FF14 song. I made a note of it. And like I was saying, I don't know if everyone in the chat knows, but soon I'm going to be putting up a community poll on my channel where I asked in a previous video, it's like, what game do you want me to play? And like the ones that are like the most popular and some combination of most popular plus ones I want to play, I'm going to put in a community post. I'm going to get people to vote on it. And whichever game gets the most votes, I'll play it after Automata.
Cool.
So we'll see how that goes. So I think that's pretty well it. As always.
Yes, indeed. Oh man, it's been almost freaking 3 hours. Jeez.
Yeah. Time flies.
Freaking. Once again, guys, like always, thank you for watching.
Yep.
Serenial Podcast, episode 19.
Yep.
Every Friday night, you know, like Eastern Standard Time, pretty much.
Around this time.
Until who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, sometimes we don't always go to like 3 hours, but usually anywhere from like 1 to 3.
Yeah. So it's always going to be somewhere around there pretty much. Yeah. But hell, as always, guys, thanks for watching, asking questions, interacting, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It truly is appreciated, and it's one of the best ways you can really help support your favorite content creators on pretty much any platform. It's just really watching and listening.
Oh,
that's what you need to do.
So, yeah. I also want to thank you all, and we'll see you next Friday for another for the big 2-0 Serenial podcast.
Episode 20.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Catch you guys next